wasn't. Yeah, I was driving in and my Honda Civic AC is not equipped to fight the heat here in Phoenix.
102 is the current temperature I'm reading here at the compound in the West Valley. That's the downtown Phoenix temperature, 102. It only seems like it's not very hot, but it really is kind of warm. We got lots to talk about today, Keon. Montrezl Harrell, dadgummit, what's he doing? We'll talk about that here in just a bit. ASU Sports has got a problem, and it's getting bigger. What the hell's going on out there in Sun Devil Land? I got your man of the day. It might surprise you. And we got a whole bunch of stuff. And I'm just glad you're along with us here on the Daily Blender on this Tuesday. 888-368-1580. Thunder Snow gets the first text of the day. Okay, I repeat, Randy White is the sexiest man in sports talk radio. Not Keon. Sorry, Keon.
I mean, I don't see why this has to be an either or, but
no, I don't. I think all three of us. I think Jeffrey, myself, and Keith. Look, sexiest man in sports talk radio is in the eye of the beholder, Thunder Snow. So thank you very much. I appreciate you doing that. So let's get right underway. Boy, who saw last night coming? I didn't.
Me neither.
Look, the Warriors came out. Steph Curry was ice cold. First time in 132 games, he doesn't have a 3-point single 3-point field goal. One. Didn't have any last night. First time in 132 games, 132 playoff games, I believe. Is it 132 playoffs?
Yeah, I think it's playoff games, yeah.
That Steph Curry does not drop one, but boy, did his guys pick him up and carry him across the finish line last night. It's about time, too, by the way, Keon. What'd you think of last night's game? Golden State 104, Boston 94. What'd you think?
I think that this was, as great a game as we thought it was going to be, and B, a hell of a performance by Andrew Wiggins. I wanted to see more out of him. I wasn't sure if I would. I wasn't sure if the matchup in this series would allow for Andrew Wiggins to be the guy that he's been in the playoffs so far. He has a tendency sometimes to get a little timid, to get a little.
Yeah.
He's kind of got that the same kind of mental makeup I think that DeAndre Ayton has sometimes, where it's like he's just a little more timid than you'd like. But man, when he's feeling it, when he's really confident and in rhythm, and Andrew Wiggins is a dangerous guy, and he really looked like last night the number 1 overall pick that he actually was when he came into the league with the Minnesota Timberwolves.
No kidding. 26 points last night in 43 minutes played. Draymond Green had 8 points, 7 rebounds, and 6 assists. My eye jumped the line there. How about Klay Thompson? 21 points last night, Keon. Is the drought over for playoff Klay?
I think there's going to be some inconsistency with playoff Klay, but they only needed, if the Warriors wanted to win this series, they only needed a couple of those from Klay.
Yeah.
And they really hadn't gotten a ton. They got a game 2 out of Klay that was pretty decent, but this was more than pretty decent. This was really good. And they needed a really good performance out of Klay Thompson, a 20+ point performance with him, where, he's shooting and he's knocking down 50% of his shots. The 3-ball looks really good for him. He's in rhythm. That's the kind of Klay Thompson that the Warriors wanted to see. And I didn't know if we were going to be able to see that from him this series, because I thought that the Celtics did a really good job of playing great defense on him. But he found ways to get free, and he's starting to get back to the Klay, not that he couldn't always shoot, but the Klay that has to do a ton of running to get open. That's hard to do coming off the injury that he had. But he's starting to do a little bit more coming off of those screens, running as much without the ball as he does, so that he can find his spots where he's wide open. And I give him a ton of credit for that, because he seemed like he was gutting through it, but I appreciate what he did watching him do it.
Jason Tatum for the Celtics at 27 points. He played 44 minutes of the game. Robert Williams III had 10 points. Jaylen Brown 18. Marcus Smart had 20, which is an improvement for Marcus Smart. You like to see that, but he only had 2 assists, and therein lies the hook. When the game starts getting out of hand is when you start seeing takeaways or turnovers by the Boston Celtics. And I reference this stat here. Boston had 18 turnovers last night. 18.
Jeez.
And they out-rebounded Golden State 47-39. 18 turnovers.
Yeah,
holy cow.
That's a major problem. And they didn't shoot the three particularly well. And we've seen this happen with the Suns, where if you're not shooting the three well, you can still win games, but you can't win games, not shoot the three well, and turn the ball over. Well, you got to pick one.
Not only that, both teams were quiet, relatively ice cold from 3-point land. The Celtics had 34.4% from 3-pointer, 9 of 40 and 22.5% is what Golden State, that was their 3-point shooting percentage. And the field goals, I mean, there's a 5-point differential between the two teams. The 18 turnovers, you get points on turnovers, man. It's going to kill you. It's going to kill you. How about personal fouls? Golden State had 28 personal fouls. The Celtics only had 16. See, if you control the ball, you don't give it away. You have a chance in this game. This was a game that the Boston Celtics should have won, and I think they played sloppy. They did come from quite a deficit. I think at one point it was 15 points or something, and they fought their way back, and they actually beat Golden State in the third quarter last night. 35-24 was the score just in the third quarter.
It reminded me a lot of game one, where they were down to Golden State and then grinded themselves back into position. And then they were able to win that game one and surprise us all. Yeah. So I really thought, oh boy, here we go again, when they started rolling in the third. Yeah. And then Golden State was able to stop them from continuing that run. Played some really good defense, especially on Jaylen Brown. And they held off Boston from doing what they did in game one again in game five.
Got to tell you, it is all the talk of the town, because Golden State has flipped the script now, and they are in control of this series as we go back to Boston for game 6. And I don't know what to tell you. Last night was a good example of a team that had a golden opportunity, no pun intended, and gave it away. They just gave it away to the other team with bad play, and then they went ice cold in the fourth quarter. Boston could not get a point if there was nobody else on the floor. There were some open shots that they didn't even hit. They were clang, clang, clang.
Yeah, I mean, Jaylen Brown was 0 for 5 from 3. That's not good. That you can't do anything there. You know, he's got to play at a high level. Like 18 points out of Jaylen Brown is just not good enough if Boston wants to win.
Well, and that's absolutely right. And listen, the good thing, the good points, Golden State finally had role players step up and give Steph Curry some help. Steph Curry was carrying this team, ladies and gentlemen. And maybe this was a time where the Golden State Warriors needed to have a game like this to show and give them some confidence as they roll into game 6 in Boston this coming week. They needed to see the other role players instead of Steph Curry, who, by the way, if Golden State wins this, Steph Curry better win the damn MVP.
Of course.
I don't care if there's some last-second heroics by somebody else, or, Jordan Poole single-handedly wins the game in 5 and 6 and sends, game 6 and wins it for him. Steph Curry better win the damn MVP.
I mean, you don't get to where they are in this series without the heroics of Steph Curry.
No way.
And the fact that he, quite frankly, hasn't won a Finals MVP yet is already disturbing in and of itself.
Oh, yes.
So he better win this one if Golden State pulls it off.
Momentum shifting towards Golden State's way as they end up winning this game last night. A little gamesmanship, though, I think, maybe on the part of Steve Kerr after the game. From CBS Sports reporting that after the game was over, Steve Kerr got his guys in the locker room and quote, "We're going to finish this in Boston," end quote. Dude, really? Steve Kerr he's got some brass cojones to say that, and then while the cameras are rolling in the locker room. Yeah. I don't think this series is over by a long shot. For Steve Kerr to go in the locker room and give the Celtics some motivation,
I don't think it was about the motivation. I think he's a brilliant coach. And think about the people, the coaches in particular, that have been in Steve Kerr's life. We're talking about Phil Jackson. We're talking about Greg Popovich. I think with the cameras rolling, I think Steve Kerr knew exactly what he was doing. He looked at his guys and he put a bunch of pressure on them. If I tell you that we're going to win and the world sees that I'm saying this, you guys have to go out there and make it happen. And I do think that when you pour a bunch of pressure on a guy like Steph Curry, he performs. That's what he plays his best.
Yeah,
I think he is more concerned with firing up his guys than firing up Boston. I don't think he concerns himself with what the Celtics are doing.
According to who wrote this, Sam Quinn, he says this is not a boast to the media. This is not a message to the Celtics either. It's a confidence that he's sharing with his team after 2 straight wins, after watching his players take the last 2 games. He knows that they're capable of ending this thing on Thursday night. And that's what they intend on doing, flying into Boston, going in to Boston Stadium and flat taking control of Game 6 and not letting this go to a Game 7. I think it's very possible after last night. I think it's very, very possible.
It is possible that they could go there and finish it. The Warriors know what Game 7s are like. You don't want to play those. Game 7s are random and scary, and weird stuff happens in Game 7s.
You don't have to tell me.
Yeah, I don't have to tell you.
You don't have to tell me.
We live through it right here.
Yeah, we don't have to talk about
that. But I mean, the Game 7s go a bunch of different ways.
No, you don't have to tell me, Keon. I know. Yeah.
So if you have an opportunity, you're up 3-2 in a series. You never led at any point in this series. No team in this series has won 2 games in a row until now. You got a chance to end it in a Game 6. I don't care if it's on the road. Put them out of their misery.
Yeah.
End it.
And it's also something, like you said, given Golden State's history, they don't want to take any chances with Game 7. Remember the last time they had a 3-2 finals lead? It was 2016 against the Cleveland Cavaliers. The series ended with a Game 7 loss at home, putting an end to Golden State's 73-win season. Remember that?
I do remember that. That is one of the most disappointing ends to a season that I've ever seen in with my own 2 eyes. And also consider this about Steve Kerr, once upon a time teammate of Michael Jordan. MJ never played in a Game 7. He never played in a Game 7.
Oh boy.
You don't go there. And as far as he's concerned, that's the same mindset.
Mr. Wilbur says, I think I've sent this text previously, but again, I was at the grocery store, and now instead of seeing a photo of Randy White on the milk cart, I saw a photo of Jeffrey. It was skim milk. I'm not sure if that means anything, but we're worried about him. We shouldn't be. I know exactly where he's at. He's in Palm Springs. As I said at the top of the show, Mr. Wilbur, and I blow a whistle on the fact that you can see anything. I don't think you saw anything at all, Mr. Wilbur. I think this is a fable, and you're trying to pull a shenanigan over the rest of the damn audience's eyes. Mr. Wilbur, what do you think about that?
Damn.
Taco Kenny, Warriors have heart. You can't compare them to the Suns. No, you can't. But I wasn't doing that. I wasn't comparing the Warriors anywhere near neither the Celtics nor the Warriors. I wasn't comparing either one of them to the Phoenix Suns. I was just telling Keon I completely 100% understand about Game 7. They're weird. They're odd. They're strange. Weird things happen in Game 7.
And sometimes it's a close game and the Game 7 is weird. I mean, let's go back to, remember when the Raptors won the NBA Finals, but the round before that, the Eastern Conference Finals, they played the Sixers, and Kawhi Leonard in that Game 7 shoots that shot that just sort of bounces around the rim for 20 whole seconds before it finally drops it. Like, that's also a weird thing that can happen in a Game 7. You could just have a really fluky thing happen, and then you lose a series you were in control of.
Yeah. See what I mean? Game 7s. I liken Game 7s to Friday the 13th. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just weird things happen in Game 7. You know what I'm saying? Black cats and walking under ladders and all that kind of stuff. You know, the weird things happen in Game 7s. Fed fan says, the sweet smell of victory. And yes, Steph Curry should win the MVP if the Warriors win. Thank you, Fed fan. Also, Mars Bars 805 says, hey guys, happy Taco Tuesday. You got it. I'm hoping Miss Kim brings some tacos home tonight because I'm hungry. You ever had those, in your life, Keon, you're going along there and everything's fine and you're satisfied and everything's cool. Then all of a sudden, for no apparent reason, you just get, just a voracious hunger.
I can relate to that. Yeah.
You eat everything. We have two pantries in our house here at the compound. And I was in the Hobbit, what Miss Kim calls the Hobbit pantry. And I was looking for a can of chili before I got on the air. I've been eating all day. I don't know why I'm so hungry, but anyway,
just one of those days.
Yeah, let's see. Mars Bars 805 says also he'll take an 805, please, and a pina colada for Jeffrey in Palm Springs. Refs in 7. If you like pina colada, I don't know. I don't know about that, Mars Bars 805.
I actually thought the officiating in this series was really good. I know. There are moments.
Fourth quarter last night was a bit odd, don't you think?
It was. It got pretty ticky tack there, but
I'm not. Listen, I called the Celtics in 7, and I'm not rooting against the Golden State Warriors. I really don't. I don't have I don't have a person in this fight here. I'm just saying. There were quite a few times when I thought Golden State was getting away with some stuff when the Celtics were trying to shoot. There were a couple of times Jason Tatum was driving to the basket, and there were two guys that converged on him, which is good basketball, but there were a handful of times it looked like he was being assaulted on the way up to the rim, and there was no call.
Yeah, I just think that they've actually been allowing a pretty physical series for this one. So I didn't have too much of a problem with that. And I didn't think that they didn't allow Boston to do some similar stuff. So I just thought the officiating for the most part, it hasn't been perfect, but considering that we had a few rounds early on these playoffs that were atrocious, I will take what we're getting right now.
All right. So the Warriors flipped the script on Boston. They now have control heading into Boston on, is it Thursday night? Right? Is it next Thursday? It's not this week, right? It's next week?
I mean, yeah.
Because they all have to take a vacation, right, in between games?
It is Thursday.
Okay.
Which is still a little too long to me, but.
All right. When we come back, we've got more stuff for you. It's the Daily Blender on Taco Tuesday here on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
Game 6 of the NBA Finals coming up on Thursday night. The Warriors and Celtics will play in Boston. The Warriors, they lead the series 3-2, but the Celtics are favored to win Game 6 and force a Game 7. The Celtics are favored by 3.5 and paying out at -166 on the money line, where the Warriors, with a win, would pay out at +140. The over-under has been set at 210. Steph Curry does remain the favorite to win the NBA Finals MVP. He pays out at -360. Jason Tatum has the second best odds at +400. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
Does your company need bonds, Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
I'm an Arizona truck driver. I deliver food, medicine, supplies, and hope.
And during times of crisis, I support our communities. But every day I see people putting lives and families at risk.
Distracted driving is deadly, period. Be aware, be safe, and visit sharetheroadaz.com and find tips on how to drive safely around trucks.
This message is sponsored by the Arizona Trucking Association Foundation.
What do a 450-year-old author and a bottle of 4 times distilled vodka have in common? Let's compare Shakespeare, shall we? Shakespeare, the man, the epitome of playwriting, the OG of live theater, the standard by which all others are compared. Shakespeare, the vodka, an original Polish spirit crafted from a recipe 12 centuries old with an unwavering attention to smoothness and purity, the standard by which all others should be compared. Maybe they're not so different after all. Shakespeare Vodka is the Shakespeare of vodkas.
The Rams were built to win the Super Bowl. The Los Angeles Rams have won Super Bowl 56. But if you think that brought the end of the NFL season, you'd better think again. The NFL is a year-round beast, and we keep you in the know. Free agency, trades, retirements, hirings, firings, holdouts, injuries, training camps, and a whole lot more. Football is always in season here. We are 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Your home for football.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender. We are broadcasting live from the Harman Solar, control room.
Mega Center.
Ooh, I like Mega Center.
Yeah, Mega Center.
Mega Center sounds fancy. We're broadcasting live from the Harman Solar Mega Center. And
I like that.
We got to get Jeffrey to make that catch on.
He doesn't need to know about it. We'll just drop it on him.
just drop it on him.
Yeah, if and when he comes back, we'll just this is no longer the studio; it's the Mega Center.
I'm okay with that. He's outnumbered. He's not really going to be able to
2-1.
back.
We outvote him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have a story that's making me kind of sad.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah, it's making me kind of sad because it's about Hornets forward Montrezl Harrell, and I like Montrezl Harrell. I think that he's a really good basketball player. He's my favorite kind of basketball player, which is the guy that can't really shoot that well, but he hustles and, grabs rebounds and runs around and makes life hard for people.
Yeah. Okay.
Because I'm not a great shooter, so that's exactly how I play.
Sounds like somebody the Suns need. Can we trade for him?
You trade for Montrezl Harrell?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Somebody get on the phone with the Hornets and see if that happens. I don't know. I always thought Montrezl Harrell was really cool, just like a high energy guy.
Right.
So I'm really sad to see this story about Montrezl Harrell and how he was driving around in Kentucky and he got pulled over and he was in possession of some marijuana.
Oh no.
And okay, that's happened to people before. How bad was it? Well, Montrezl Harrell didn't just have a little marijuana.
Yeah.
Montrezl Harrell had 3 pounds.
3 pounds of marijuana?
Yeah, 3 pounds.
What in the hell is he doing?
Which, of course, is a felony in Kentucky. I wish I knew what he was doing. I have a guess.
3 pounds.
I have a guess. What the police guessed in the case of Montrezl Harrell was the intent to sell. Because that's typically what happens when you have a lot of weed. I find it hard to believe that Montrezl Harrell intended to sell all of that. I really think it was more of a Costco thing where he just bought it in bulk.
Bought it in bulk and it was just going. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. He just wanted to have a lot of it. So he just wouldn't have to do it again very often. But obviously, when you have that much, that is the first thing that the police are going to think. And that's the way that the law is set up, that it cracks down harder on people who intend to sell. And so Montrezl Harrell, unfortunately, is looking at 1 to 5 years in prison.
Oh, no.
And a fine ranging from $1,000 to $10,000. I feel like the fine's not the worst part of this for him being an NBA player, but just a really sad thing that happened. I don't know, because it's a guy that I don't see Montrezl Harrell as a bad guy. But that was definitely a boneheaded thing that he did. Like, this is
now. How long's he been in the league?
He's been in the league for 7 years. Wow. And he was originally drafted by the Nuggets, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
He spent time with your Washington team, didn't he?
He did, yeah. He was on the team last season. They released him, but that was more of a cap casualty thing. I don't think anybody wanted to see Montrezl Harrell go, and he was really awesome with the Wizards because he's just generally really awesome. Like, the role that he plays on a team is really valuable, and I do think this kind of hurts the Hornets a little bit too. But anytime you see a guy that is trying to skirt the law that way, you can talk about whether or not it's fair that he's incarcerated for a drug that's not like meth or something. But you live in Kentucky. The law's not a mystery. You know what it is, and whether or not it's fair. You know that you can't have 3 pounds. Like 8 ounces is actually when they start arresting you. You just flew right on by with the amount that you had.
So it says here that Trooper Jesse Owens, not the Jesse Owens, but Trooper Jesse Owens, great name, by the way, stated upon stop, observed odor of marijuana from the silver 2020 Honda Pilot that Harrell was driving. According to the citation, Harrell, Owens wrote in the report, admitted to being in possession of marijuana and produced a small amount from his sweatpants. Oh, no, Montrez, what are you doing? During a subsequent search of the vehicle, Harrell claims it was rented. 3 pounds of marijuana in a vacuum-sealed bags were found in a backpack in the back seat. Oh, my heck.
Yeah, it's just one of those. And I've heard Montrezl Harrell speak. Okay, the guy's not dumb. He's too smart for this to have happened. And I think the reason why he produced the weed when he was asked about it was he was trying to be honest.
But only a little bit honest.
Well, only a little bit honest. Like, hey, maybe if I show him what's in my sweatpants, I'll only get in trouble for that.
He's not going to search the car if I show him it's in my sweatpants here.
Which I just think horrifying miscalculation. Horrifying miscalculation.
So do you think they're going to lock him up for, between 1 to 5, or are they going to give him some sort of a probation, make him because he's an NBA guy, make him do like some community service or something and pay the fine, probably, $5,000 and, I don't know, a year of community service or something.
I sure hope that's the direction that they go.
But do you know if this is his first felony? Is this his first thing?
I think it is. I haven't heard of Montrezl Harrell being involved in anything else. So I can definitely look that up at some point, but I don't think that this is a repeat offense or a repeat anything for him. But it's definitely a bad look for him. It's definitely, here's a team that traded for you and they're looking forward to you being a veteran presence because they've got a bunch of really young players, and now they can't use that veteran presence that Montrezl Harrell would bring.
Scratching him off the list of big guys that the Suns could get. So
no, he's going to be off of a few lists for a while. The Hornets obviously aren't commenting on the issue, and they're going to probably just let it play out first before they make any decisions.
888-368-1580 268. Boy. Silly Wabbit checks in and says, very cool, Randy. His and hers pantries. No, we have 2 pantries in our house. Our house has a small pantry in the kitchen, and Miss Kim wanted a bigger pantry to store other items. empty whiskey bottles, things like that. I don't know. Well, that's not true. I do know. Miss Kim has got a little crafty thing where she gets these little tiny lights and she sticks them in these empty whiskey bottles, and then she does this. This treatment to these bottles. It's pretty cool, actually. And she gives those away as gifts. So whenever I finish a whiskey bottle, I have to check with her. But anyway, those are in the other pantry, and cans of chili, graham crackers, things like that. They stay in there. My fruit snacks, they stay in there, which I probably shouldn't eat because those are actually for the grandkids.
But they're tasty though.
Oh man, 100% fruit. Yeah. Mr. Wilbur says that commercial with Jeffrey's voice brought a tear to my eye. Does that sound sincere? Mr. Wilbur. I don't know about you trying to pull one over, the fourth dimension by saying you could go in and see Jeffrey's face on a milk carton. We still have to think about that one. Big George, hello, gentlemen. Happy Tuesday. Oh, boy. What an abysmal performance yesterday by the Diamondbacks against the Cincinnati Reds. Did you expect something different, Big George? Hopefully the Diamondbacks put in a better performance together tonight. On the plus side, the Padres are now tied with the Dodgers for first place. Dodgers. Dodger fans, don't get on me. That was Big George. That wasn't me. Fed fan says, if you're going to carry around a huge load of drugs, try to be the best driver on the road. Well, yeah. Keon, did you see why he got pulled over?
Let's see.
Was he like veering all over the highway or something?
He was following the vehicle in front of him too closely. So it's not like he was, just everywhere. But yeah, if you're following too closely, you can get pulled over for that. I haven't seen it happen in my personal life. See a few people drive that way out here.
Yeah, people always they do that to me. I must have a nice rear end because people always want to be up next to it on the highway. Mr. Pink Eye says could be worse. Could be in a Russian jail. I don't think that Brittany is in a. She's not in a Russian jail. She's just being detained, right? She's actually got access to the outside world with via emails and that sort of thing, right?
Yeah,
Brittany Griner.
Yeah, she's not in jail. From what I understand, I saw a video that showed like where she was, or the kind of facility she was in.
Yeah,
so she's not free by any means, but yeah, Russian jail would be terrible, and Brittany Griner's not in one either. So,
well,
that's good news.
We'll talk about that in a little while. That'll be coming up here on the Daily Blender. Also, Mr. Wilbur says, today's National Bourbon Day. Pour everybody a shot on me. Well, there's one for Keon.
Thank you.
One for Mr. Wilbur. One for me. Thank you, Mr. Wilbur. Appreciate it. Anybody else want a shot of bourbon? Just give us a text at 888-368-1580, and we will pour you a shot. I'll put that on Mr. Wilbur's tab. Good Cat says, Randino, Whitino, and Keon, what's happening? What's happening with you, Good Cat?
What's up, Good Cat?
All right. Well, sad news for Montrezl Harrell. I like him too. He seems to be, he plays bigger than he is. And I was sad. I was sad to see that, man. ASU's got a problem, ladies and gentlemen, and it's not going away anytime soon. The Sun Devils football coach Herm Edwards was slammed by his counterparts in the Athlon preview of this upcoming season. Athlon Sports puts out a college football team preview each season, and opposing coaches share their thoughts on other teams that they play against. In this case, on the Arizona State football team for the 2022 season as part of the preview. I wonder if this is like an anonymous thing. Have you ever gone through that before, Keon, where you have like a survey that's sent to you by your employer? It's supposed to be anonymous survey about your coworkers. Have you ever had that done?
I haven't had that done, but I know of those.
Okay.
And because I normally purchase the Athens college football magazine every year, I know that these are in fact anonymous.
Wow. Okay. Well, here you go. They were not kind to Herm Edwards and ASU football. Here's some of the comments from opposing coaches. Tell me what you think of this, Keon. This is the biggest dumpster fire in college football. The preview quoted one coach is saying about ASU. It's absolutely mind-blowing that Herm is still employed, at least in the mind of the college coaching community. Everyone knows it's a ticking time bomb, but no one knows if it's going to go off in a month or a year from now.
My first thought when I read that was, did Big George become a Pac-12 head coach at some point that I didn't notice? Because calling
sounds a lot like what Big George says, huh?
It sounds exactly like what Big George says.
I wonder if he's had an influence over the Athlon people.
It's possible. I'm not going to hold it, against him at all. But I just think that it's true. I think anybody in college football looks at what Herm Edwards has done at ASU, looks at especially the recruiting violations and all that other stuff, and goes, how's this guy still employed? If any other coach got caught doing this, they'd be done. Just if for no other reason than you want to be able to avoid any of the penalties that the NCAA might lob in your general direction, it's worth it to just move in a different direction. But then, the football's not good either.
Yeah, he continued saying they look like a mid-level SEC program when they get off the bus, and you start to see what they've been recruiting. When then you finish the game, and it's like playing an NWC team, Midwestern Conference team. I'm assuming
I think it's
Mountain West Conference team. They're wildly inconsistent. They turn the ball over. They make mental errors. It's all the stuff that screams no stability. We played them when they were locked in and physical, and we played them when they're just not interested in being here. Wow. Another quote. Here's another preview quote. The Herm plan isn't terrible. Bring in the CEO head coach to work externally and let talented assistants coach. But they didn't follow any of the rules. That model has to be adjusted from the NFL to college because there's way more ways to screw up here. Here's another quote. This program has the best chance of a total implosion mid-season because there's no consistency anywhere, not in the coaches, the head coach, or the roster. It's a waste. This program is always good on paper, but fails to ever really win consistently. And this is another example of it. Wow. That's scorched earth stuff right there. That is somebody just leveling the blowtorch down on the ground. Somebody's just coming in with a blowtorch and just going, oh, ASU, let me give you my thoughts.
And it's other Pac-12 coaches. It's other coaches in this conference that look at this team. This is what they think.
I'm sure that, it just went in there. It's like somebody just went in and lit their flamethrower and then just said, yeah, you can quote me on that.
There is a coach that looked at ASU, looked at the young men in that football program and said, yeah, these guys are interested in playing football today. That is damning. That's damning. And not something that any program, any high-level program, and certainly not a program that has recruited the way ASU has been able to recruit sort of in the last handful of years, obviously not this last recruiting cycle, but every other one before this in the Herm era has had solid recruiting, big physical, mean guys that can play. And then none of these guys get developed. And this is what you wind up with.
Well, it goes on, he goes on, it goes on. But here's another big slam. Get your asbestos on, because according to multiple outlets, ASU softball coach Tricia Ford will become the next head coach at Texas A&M on Monday night, and Arizona State fans are not happy. Many use the news and other resources to slam ASU athletic director Ray Anderson for the state of Arizona athletics programs. Now, keep in mind, ASU softball was just one win away from the Women's College World Series this season. They also finished third in a previous season in the College World Series, the Women's College World Series. And since Ford has taken over the program, she's been the Pac-12 Coach of the Year in 2018 and 2022. She led the Devils to the Pac-12 title this season. Texas A&M Director of Athletics Ross Bjork confirmed Ford's hire on Tuesday. Wow.
That's somehow worse.
And it's like George has been saying, you know, just get the flamethrower out, just burn it to the ground.
I mean, it's hard to argue with it with this, isn't it? I mean, Ray Anderson. Maybe we should be putting his face on the side of a milk carton. Where are you?
Mr. Wilbur still wouldn't be able to see it. I don't care what he says. Arizona Central Sports, AZ Central Sports on their Twitter account put out an informal poll. It says, vote, should ASU fire athletic coach or athletic director Ray Anderson? Out of 1,255 votes, 84% said yes.
Yeah, that I think that's very telling. I also, and ASU fans, let me know, 888-368-1580. Is Ray Anderson good at building up the facilities, the actual infrastructure of ASU athletics? Because that's the other part of the job. And usually an athletic director is good at one or the other or both.
Well, their facilities, the last time I was out there, are world class. Other schools come out here to see how ASU gets it done. And then there was that, since Ray Anderson has been here, there was that enormous rebuild of Sun Devil Stadium. And they're in plans talking about refurbishing the basketball arena. But I want to talk about this more, and I want to hear what the Fourth Dimension has to say about it at 888-368-1580. ASU is in trouble. The flamethrower has come out, and should it be a scorched earth theory, just somebody go in there and wipe it out and bring in some new people? And what is Dr. Crow doing? And we'll find out. We'll get your thoughts next on the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Did you know that Constructors Bonding has been Arizona's leader in surety management for over 40 years? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than anyone, anywhere. Contractors, developers, attorneys, car dealers, and hundreds of other industries turn to Constructors Bonding for their bond solutions. Call me personally at 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution for better bonding.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
We know how it goes. You can't always tune in and hear your favorite shows and hosts.
Dude, look, I'm a loser. Okay?
It's cool, bro. That's why we post podcasts of your favorite shows and hosts. Listen when you want to. Listen on demand.
That is great and frankly kind of amazing.
Go to 1580thefanatic.com to download.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, June 14th. Beautiful day out there. We're talking about ASU sports and a damning preview of the ASU football program in Athlon Sports, a preview of the season. And it's not given by the staff of Athlon. It's given by, Herm Edwards' counterparts. It's given by, guys that he faces in the Pac-12. Here are some of the comments. Again, this is the biggest dumpster fire in college football. I mean, how do you say that from a guy that you play against? I mean, Herm's not a bad dude, but they're saying about ASU, the program, they're saying it's a dumpster fire. It's absolutely mind blowing that Herm is still employed, at least in the mind of college coaching community. Everyone knows it's a ticking time bomb. No one knows if it's going off this month or a year from now. 888-368-1580. Want to know what you think. Silly Wabbit says, so because Montrez is an NBA player, he should get a break? Anyone else would be happy a felon is caught and sent to prison. Why are we so sympathetic to pros and do things like DUIs? I don't know. Ask the legal system. I'm not the judge. If it's me, I'm probably, as a judge, but if you were brought up and you're a first-time offender, you do something you know is wrong and you get caught doing it, when you go to the court and you would say, look, I was wrong. I made a stupid choice. I shouldn't have been carrying that much pot. Now, do you want the judge to be a hard ass on you? Do you want to have a break?
And also, it's not that he deserves a break because he's an NBA player. First off, having a lot of weed is not just because the law says you're a felon doesn't mean that you are the same kind of felon as a murderer. So I don't want to equate those two things. But the other thing is, a lot of counties, cities, whatever, if they've got somebody famous, if they've got somebody who's a face of something, that they use that person and make an example out of them, by having them do the service work, instead of sending them to jail, because you can put their face in front of more people to say, hey, don't do this. You're going to wind up like Montrezl Harrell. That serves a purpose. That has value.
He would still have to serve the community service.
No one's saying he shouldn't be punished at all.
No,
but if there is any leeway, with the judge, if there's something that they can get out of it, in this case, use somebody famous to dissuade people from doing something that they don't want people to do, I don't see the problem there.
Good Cat says, Wilbur, thank you for the shot, but I don't know if I want to do a body shot off of you. You did say pour everyone a shot on me, right? I don't think that's what he meant, Good Cat.
He meant your tab.
Mr. Wilbur, I agree. Burn it to the ground. Change the name back to Tempe Normal Teacher. You don't count, Mr. Wilbur. I know what you're doing. Boomer Sooner, Randy, it's a beautiful 98 degrees, slight breeze up here in North Phoenix. Could I get a cold beer and that free shot of whiskey or bourbon, please? Sure. Is nobody worried about ASU in this Athlon preview? Is no one?
You've got, I don't know if that was 3 or 4 quotes from other Pac-12 coaches, Herm Edwards' peers, that are looking at him and looking at this program and going, what the hell are they doing?
Fed Fan says, and I agree with this Fed Fan, Ray Anderson's only good at one thing, hiring his buddies. He and all of his cronies need to be fired. I would agree. After last year, after seeing how terrible the ASU football program looked, and quite frankly, Herm Edwards looked lost on the sidelines. It's time for a change.
Yeah, I think it might have been. Yeah, it was the BYU game.
He looked lost.
Yeah, I don't think he even looked like he wanted to be there. His head was just somewhere else. It wasn't in the game, and it was one of those. These guys are jumping off sides. They are not disciplined. They don't look like anybody has coached them this entire week. And the head coach, he's not there getting in anybody's face. He's not there trying to fire the guys up. He just, I don't know.
He looked bewildered.
The headset's on his head. It's not even on his ears. He's just staring into space.
He's just looking around like, what the hell's going on? Baker's Cocky Hens says simply this. When was ASU not a laughing stock? Harrell is dumb. Marijuana being illegal is even dumber. And good luck, though.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with a few of those things. I think that ASU, the last 5 years, had not been a laughing stock.
I'd say the last, probably last 2.5 years.
Okay, fair enough. I think that the last handful of years, there were some people who were starting to see ASU a whole lot more respectably. And now that they're sort of falling apart at the seams. And the thing that makes me a little confused is when you have a coach that's in that position, where the recruiting violations are kind of swirling around and you don't know what the NCAA is going to do, if they're going to do anything at all, you usually just jettison the coach. Just get rid of him, get another guy in there and try and rebuild the program. And a similar thing happened to Tennessee, the University of Tennessee, right before I left there. And so the timetable was more or less the same, except that when the violations came down on Tennessee, within 2 months, Jeremy Pruitt, the head coach at the time, was gone. They just went ahead and fired him. We'll figure out the rest later. We'll go on the coaching search later, but this guy's just got a lot of stuff swirling around him, and we don't need any more attention from the NCAA. They just went ahead and canned him. I just don't see why you wouldn't do that here with Herm Edwards. It's not like Herm Edwards is the kind of coach where, okay, he's going to win us a national title if we stick with him. So it's worth whatever the NCAA does. That's not the case here.
Do me a favor. I don't mean to be that guy, but I've got a lot of windows open here. I want to ask you, what is Ray Anderson's pedigree, and why would Dr. Crow have him on as the athletic director at ASU? What is his background? What's his resume? Keon, if you look that up, tell me what that is. Boomer Sooner says, Randy, I'm not talking about ASU because it's been like a year or two and that people are talking about Herm and he should be gone. So I've kind of lost interest. Yeah, I agree. When does ASU run like Oklahoma? Or when does ASU run like USC? Or when does ASU run like, one of these, SEC schools like Alabama or Clemson or Texas A&M or some of these schools? When does ASU start stepping it up instead of all the lip service you keep giving your alumnus? Why don't you step up and actually bring some people in here to make this a better program? When does ASU do that? Instead of losing a quality coach to Texas A&M, what the hell are we doing? Baker's Cocky Hen says Anderson can't even keep his donors in check, harassing their own coaches' wives. Yeah. Yeah. Goose's last plane ride. Herm is done. Playoffs? I don't think Herm said that. That was somebody else. Playoffs? Playoffs? Mr. Wilbur, okay, I changed my mind. Keep them all, give them all raises. What? Oh, I see what you're doing, Mr. Wilmer. You're not helping anything. 888-368-1580. Herm might be a guy of great character, but this program has got away from him. I'm sorry to say it. This program has gotten out of hand. And it falls down on him. It falls back on Herm to make sure this program is running correctly. He is the CEO of this program, is he not? And I appreciate his rah-rah speeches and his energy, but I got to be honest with you. The last 2 seasons of ASU football, disappointing. And you lost a lot of guys in the transfer protocol or the portal, and you're not bringing other guys in from the portal. You're not bringing any other recruits in. Meanwhile, ASU's down south getting ready to kick your ass this coming November. And they will. They will kick your ass this coming November. I'm predicting that right now. ASU has been quietly going about their business, or U of A has been quietly going about their business down there while ASU is in the headlines with another mistake, another violation, another missed opportunity.
Yeah, just I was taking a look at Ray Anderson in the background there a little bit. Smart guy. Went to Harvard Law. Became an attorney.
He's a lawyer. That's great.
Yeah, has some experience as an NFL executive. But
any former college AD experience? No.
No, not at all. This is job number 1 for him. I
Dr. Crow, this actually goes back on you, Dr. Crow. You have one of the biggest universities in the entire nation. What are you going to do to figure this out? How are you going to get ASU back on track? And Mr. Anderson, pack up your office. If I'm the damn president of ASU, this was done 18 months ago. What were you going to say, Keon?
Just the Pac-12, and I know Lincoln Riley's here, but the Pac-12 is still a winnable conference.
You're damn right it is.
But you've got to have an athletic director and a coach who have the vision to do it. And I just don't see Herman and Ray as being these guys.
Mr. Wolber says, Herm Edwards and I have one thing in common. We both love Fig Newtons. I love a good Fig Newton. Thank you, Mr. Wolber. Thank you. All right, 888-368-1580. When we come back, it's hour number 2 of this Taco Tuesday thing we call the Daily Blender. We'll see you back in just a few minutes. Hang on.
Hey everybody, Mark Asher back to tell you about my great friends over at the Lund Mortgage Team. Are you seeing what is going on in the home buying market right now? Unbelievable. Not enough inventory, and there is a ton of demand. Some of these homes are getting 30, 40, 50 offers on them. How are you going to stand out? How are you going to differentiate yourself from the other buyers who are in line? I have a way. Use the Lund Mortgage Team. Lund Mortgage Team is locally owned and operated with over 20 years of experience right here in the Valley. They have a great reputation, and it is a trustworthy pre-approval. And on top of that, they are quick. That's one of the things. You got to come equipped and be ready to buy. So what you need to do is make that first phone call to 623-875-9940. That's 623-875-9940. Get that pre-approval going, and then get yourself ready to go buy that home of your dreams. Go online, lundmortgageteam.com, or call 623-875-9940.
Uncertain times can lead to fearful investing, which could leave you in a bad spot, especially if you're trading on emotion. When tumult opens and closes the market, you need sound advice.
Hello, I'm Mo Ansari, host of Market Wrap and president of Compact Asset Management. If fear has you in its grips, it's time to take a look at your investments. At Compact Asset Management, we specialize in providing complete wealth management solutions to help you reach your financial goals, no matter where the market goes. Dial pound 250 in your cell phone and say talk to Mo for a free portfolio review. We will also discuss how we can work together to create your customized retirement plan. Call pound 250 on the cell phone and say talk to Mo, and let us help you take the fear out of your portfolio. Again, call pound 250 on the cell phone and say talk to Mo.
Compact Asset Management is a registered investment advisor, funds custodian, Fidelity Institutional Wealth Services, member FINRA SIPC.
A sapiosexual is a person who's attracted to intelligence. Do you choose brains over beauty? Like mind over muscle? Prefer Shakespeare?
To be or not to be?
To a puppeteer?
Hey, which one's the dummy?
So if you are sapiosexual and your current conversation is about to get, shall we say, intellectually stimulating, reach for Shakespeare Vodka, a thoughtfully engineered spirit with pure, smooth flavor that tastes like poetry in a bottle. Shakespeare Vodka, the taste of intelligence.
Hey, this is Grace Gosted. I'm a singer-songwriter, and like many, I've been traumatized by years of bullying. You're ugly, you're stupid, you're gay, you're worthless. Bullying causes real harm and can result in severe long-term depression, anxiety, addiction, and even self-harm. I created the Black Box Project for anyone who has ever felt different for any reason. Go to theblackboxproject.org to help you take the first step to healing. You are not alone.
KQFN Tempe, also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K2.4 Charles Hills at 95.9 FM.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show. Let's do it.
Welcome to the Daily Blender on this Tuesday, Taco Tuesday, June 14th. My name is Randy White. That is Keon Rose, and we're broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Mega Complex. Did I say Mega Complex? Mega Center? What did I say?
It was Mega Center.
Mega Center in beautiful Scottsdale, Arizona. Jeffrey O'Brien still in our Palm Springs location at our sister station, untangling wires and hooking up computers and things like that. You were on the text line at 888-368-1580. We've been talking about ASU, and I would have thought this would have really started a firestorm on the text line. Mr. Wilbur has been very active today. Mr. Wilbur, we appreciate you, but also Boomer Sooner has been on there. Boomer Sooner wants us to know Jim Mora Sr. did that famous playoffs when he coached the Colts, talking about playoffs. You're talking about playoffs?
I just hope we can win a game.
Yeah. Baker's Cocky Hen says ASU is great at women's track and field and women's golf. They're just a contender. They just aren't a contender in major sports. ASU has the scenery to attract top-level talent, but has never been able to put together more than a few good pieces at a time, it seems. You are 110% correct. They've got world-class facilities out at ASU. And we can't do better than this. Bruno Baller, maybe ASU should stand for always screwing up. I'm starting to believe that, Bruno Baller. Commando Duke, you coach to win the game. If you're not cheating, you're not trying. Well,
I disagree with that, but even then, A, if you're cheating, don't get caught. B, I don't think you had to try and recruit people during a recruiting dead period. I didn't see what purpose that served. I thought the Zoom calls would have been enough because it's enough for a lot of people. And finally, I don't understand how it is that once you get caught, you're not immediately jettisoned here. I just don't get it.
And again, this is the shortcomings of ASU again. And Dr. Crow allows this to go on. I mean, everybody keeps looking at Herm and saying he's the problem. Well, he might be part of the problem. But the athletic director is a big part of the problem, and the school president for allowing it to continue on. If you want to really go to the top and you want to get the person responsible for this, it's Dr. Crow. He's allowing it to go on. He's not taking measures. He's not moving the thing along. As long as I keep getting that athletic fund money coming in, I don't really care what you guys do. See what I mean? Kind of like Diamondback ownership. As long as I keep getting, that money that's coming in, I don't really need to put a contender out there. I've got people that'll come here and buy tickets and merchandise and stuff. I've got everybody fooled. It's time for the ASU fans and alumni to wake up. It's time for those that are donating to the university and to the programs to wake up, start demanding your rights, start making some changes. ASU should be the university in the Pac-12 to be looking at. They have world-class facilities. Let's see here. FedFan says Ray Anderson used to be Herm's agent. Is that how he got the AD job?
I sure hope not. How long has Herm been the coach, though? Because Ray's been here since 2014.
Well,
so it might be the other way around. It might have been.
I don't know. Anderson may have brought Herm here. I don't know. A-Wings 22. Who's coming to ASU? No Power 5 coach wants this job with sanctions and a group of 5 coaches like Luke Fickell will not see it as a move up.
Yeah, I don't think that, but I think that there are a handful of coaches that would take a look at the job. Coaches have taken jobs where sanctions have been coming down before, and then everybody is on the same page. If the coach and the program are on the same page that, hey, you're going to come here and look, there's going to be maybe some missing postseasons for us. There's going to be some missing scholarships, but once that stuff passes over, no matter what happens, we're going to keep you. And then, we will evaluate you from the time that these things wash over eventually. That stuff has happened. The sanctions have not stopped programs from hiring quality coaches before. So I don't even think that that's a really good excuse.
Big George says, I agree with you, Randy. The ASU football program's gotten out of hand and makes me miss the good old days of Todd Graham and Dennis Erickson. When we actually competed and won Pac-12 titles. Now, wait a minute, Big George. I will agree with you on Todd Graham. I will not agree with you on Dennis Erickson. Dennis Erickson brought a program He had players that were brought in by another coach, and he won a Pac-12 championship that way. But if you look, that's the way it's been in Dennis Erickson's career. He goes in after another coach who's assembled a bunch of talent, and he gets going. He's got a year or two good years, and then whammo, the program hits the dust. Todd Graham, I don't know what the knock was against him, why they moved him out of the way. He seemed to have that program on the uprise. Maybe he did something and I'm not seeing. Maybe there was something out there I don't know about. Somebody please tell me. Mr. Pringle asks, take an ounce to get Harold high.
Okay.
Mr. Pringle. Baker's Cocky, and I work by the campus, and it's hard to drive down the street, down Rural Road, without seeing an accident because of someone who was enjoying the scenery too much to pay attention. I see what you mean there, Baker's Cocky, and I get it.
Yeah, I did get to go to an ASU game last year when I first got here. That's a great stadium. that is a great facility.
No, I don't think he's talking about the facility. I think he's talking about
the other scenery.
Yeah. A-Wings 22 says, Keon, Pac-12 was a winnable conference, but now that Lincoln Riley has arrived, who in the Pac-12 will out-coach and out-recruit him? He had actual coaches to compete against in the Big 12, like Texas and OK State, Utah, and maybe UCLA. I disagree with that. And I think ASU could be ripe for the picking for a young coach that wants to come up and make his mark, especially in a conference like the Pac-12.
And just when you look at the high school talent, Arizona, deeper than it gets credit for, is a state that produces talent. Right next door, Nevada, very, very, very underrated as a place that produces talent. There's places you can go and you can recruit talent. And if you are a good coach that can scheme things, look, you're not going to be able to beat Lincoln Riley every single year, but there are going to be years where you can take them down. That happens in the SEC. Alabama doesn't get beaten every year, but there are years you can take down Alabama. So it doesn't matter that Lincoln Riley's here, that you can still win the Pac-12, but you're not going to win the Pac-12 with sanctions that are hanging over your head and you don't know where to go next. You're not going to win the Pac-12 with a coach that is supposed to be a disciplinarian and the team doesn't have any damn discipline. I don't understand how that works.
Yeah, the most penalized team in the Pac-12, I believe, was their dubious honor from last season. Big George is on the text line. Dennis Erickson won a Pac-12 title. Enough said. He's fine in my book. Really, Big George?
I'm going to push back on that, Big George. And I know I wasn't here when Dennis Erickson was coaching, but Dennis Erickson, year one, he was 10-3. He was after that. His best record was 500.
Mm-hmm.
He never got anywhere close to that 10-3 that first year ever again.
Todd Graham did have the program on the uprise, but Ray Anderson didn't hire Todd Graham, and he wanted him out so he could hire his buddy Herm Edwards. Yeah, that's true.
And that is something that it is a universal across all of college football. Once you have an athletic director and or coach who starts hiring their boys, the program's not going to be successful. It doesn't happen.
Just light the flamethrower and go over there. Let's go over there and just burn it to the ground, and let's start from scratch. I'm just going to tell you right now, U of A is going to kick ASU's ass this year. You just mark it down, put it in pen if you want to, and if ASU ends up winning by some miracle, some chance, I will eat my words and I will say I was wrong. But I'm just telling you right now, I got this feeling U of A has been just quietly going about their business. 5-star recruits. They got people transferring to U of A to be a part of this. It's on the rise, and ASU is in trouble right now. I just got to tell you right now. Fed fan Graham was fired so Anderson could bring in Herm. Who hires an ESPN analyst? Only Anderson, who could hire his buddy. I think the original thought with Herm Edwards was a good one, but at the expense of Todd Graham, who had this program humming along. and who was starting to get recruits and had some quality coaches, which, by the way, are still quality coaches in football today, in college football today? What has Herm Edwards done for college football? Well, he's provided a lot of guys that have come to ASU that have transferred and gone somewhere else. If he doesn't do something with his Florida quarterback that transferred here this season,
Emory Jones, which I like Emory, and I think honestly his skill set is a good fit for what Herm wants to do. So if it doesn't work, we got real questions.
Raven Kid, I am somebody that doesn't pay too much attention to ASU. My question is, what do you guys think the problem is for ASU? I can tell you what the problem is right now. You got too many good old boys in there instead of somebody that, an AD that wants to win the games, not just football games, but wants to see all of his programs succeed. Just let a quality softball coach head out to Texas A&M instead of keeping them there and starting a tradition of winning at ASU. He's got a head football coach that is completely out of touch, in my opinion. And a program on the brink of just being, falling to pieces. And he's doing nothing about it. Zero.
I mean, just take a look at the Pac-12 recruiting rankings for, let me jump back to the last recruiting cycle, because the things are not looking good for this upcoming recruiting cycle either, by the way. But let's look at the 2022 recruiting cycle. In the Pac-12, you got to scroll all the way to the bottom to find, Arizona State, last recruiting in the Pac-12.
Yeah.
There is no college football program, zero, none, that you finish last in your conference in recruiting and you win football games.
A-Wings 22 on the text line at 888-368-1580. Where's ASU's NIL money coming from to convince five-star players to come to Tempe versus LA or the SEC or Big Ten? That's another problem right there. Ray Anderson. Dr. Michael Crow. I want ASU to be great, but you're right. Until Ray Anderson goes, they will be spinning their wheels. All right, enough here. He's just got Keon and I in a tizzy. And Big George, he's in a tizzy. We all know what the problem is, and we just hate to see, our university that we love and that we've been rooting for. Some of us have attended and graduated from there very proudly. And watch it just implode like this. Baker's Cocky Hens gets the last word on this. I wish the ASU program was the Utes program. That's the right that is run the right way. Imagine the talent Whittingham could bring here compared to Utah. I know.
I agree. I mean, it's already hard enough to get people to go to Utah, and so you got somebody who can do that. It's sort of like when Lincoln Riley was at Oklahoma. It's like you're recruiting them to Oklahoma, the brand, because Norman, Oklahoma, with all due respect to Norman, Oklahoma, if you're 18 years old, Norman, Oklahoma is not the place to be. You're going there to win, and you convince guys to go there, and that if they go there, they're going to have an opportunity to win. That's how Oklahoma's always done it, and they've been able to be successful doing that. And you see somebody getting it done in Utah. Utah's got a similar problem. It's hard to find there's not much of a nightlife going on in Utah. Let's put it that way. We have that out here at ASU. Tempe is rocking all the time. There's nobody that's 18, 19 years old that doesn't look at Tempe and doesn't spend like a weekend there and doesn't want to stay there, except, can you win?
And that's been the problem for years. All right, let's get back to it. I've got our Daily Blender Man of the Day. I'm not really qualified to hand this out, but when you have a sound like this happening, you should probably seek shelter. That is a tornado horn. Yeah, it's a tornado horn in downtown Chicago yesterday. And all the teams, the Padres and the Cubs, were seeking shelter because of a tornado warning in Chicago. Meanwhile, if you look at the camera shot, I wish I could put it up there. Yu Darvish is out on the field stretching before his start, getting prepped for a start of a Major League Baseball game amidst the tornado warnings that's going off. There's Yu Darvish out there doing his stretches.
Oh my God.
Now I know Yu Darvish has got to know what a tornado warning is. Holy cow. Tornado sirens were going off. The former Cubs pitcher was the only player out and about on the field. Rest of the team stood covered inside the clubhouse. Darvish remained outside to go through his regular warm-up routine in preparation for his start. And I believe they ended up beating the Cubs. Yu Darvish ended up getting the win last night.
A tornado is apparently not going to stop Yu Darvish from getting ready.
Hell no.
It's just my routine is going to happen whether you like it or not. And he's just doing his lunges across the field.
Yeah, he was doing his lunges out there, man. Look, and there he goes. He's doing his lunges out there. He's just in right field doing his lunge. There it is. Ah! Ah! Boy, that's got to be weird. You're out there on the field and a tornado warning is going off.
And all your teammates are gone. The opposing team is gone.
They're not gone. They're in the damn clubhouse.
Yeah.
Huddling like a pack of mice. You know what I mean? They're in the area. Oh, my God, a tornado.
I can't even blame them. I hear a tornado warning. I'm probably the first person gone. You hear the tornado warning, and we might have been in the middle of a conversation, and all of a sudden you just, Keon, where'd you go?
Yeah, if you hear of a tornado out by our studios, this is what you'll hear. What's actually happening when the station goes off the air? Keon is running around madly trying to find cover. I know that's what I would do.
Mm-hmm. Easily.
So there's your man of the day, Yu Darvish. I feel bad for you, Keon. And I'm not doing this on purpose, but I feel like I owe this to you. Washington Nationals, Steven Strasburg going back on the IL after one start.
Yeah, that just makes me sad more than anything. Because I like Strasburg, and he's going to be, remembered as one of the great Nationals, but he spent most of his career injured. And that's just, they paid him a bunch of money after he won the World Series MVP in 2019, rightfully so, but he hasn't been healthy since. He hasn't really played. And I just feel like he's one of the big what if stories of baseball. If Strasburg could stay healthy, how much more dominant could he have been? And we'll just never know.
Strasburg, 33, made 7 starts in 20 and 21 while dealing with carpal tunnel neuritis and then thoracic outlet syndrome. I don't know what that is, but it sounds terrible. And rehabbing from surgeries for each. Made 1 start back this season after the long process and is now heading back on the IL after not feeling right in the days following his outing. Steven Strasburg, is he done?
Yeah. I think they're going to keep trying with him because I just don't think they want to embarrass the guy. He means a lot to that organization, but I don't see how he can make it back. There's always something wrong with him, and it's not even the same injuries. He's not even getting the same injuries repeatedly. He's just getting different injuries in his hands, in his wrist, in his elbow, and they're all in his throwing hand. That's why he can't stay healthy. There's something that's just really wrong about his joints, and it's just not working for him.
Yeah, it's too bad. Steven Strasburg headed back to the IL. The Braves have continued their winning ways, but they had a big loss yesterday. During their win, they lost their second baseman, Ozzie Albies. It was weird, too, because he had like this kind of weird inside pitch, and he took a swing at it, and you really didn't see him contort or twist or do anything wrong, but he broke his left foot in the batter's box. He'll be out 6 to 8 weeks with this injury, a broken foot.
It was kind of an awkward angle, but then when he turned to run, he just collapsed.
And this is crazy. I mean, entering Monday, he was hitting 246. He had 8 home runs on the season. Although they're a little below where he normally is. He's a 2-time All-Star, 2-time Silver Slugger Award recipient. This is going to be a big loss, but they're going to have to figure it out. So anyway, that's some baseball news, and our man of the day, Yu Darvish, out there working out during a damn tornado warning. All right, when we come back, we continue with more. Baker, the touchdown maker, a couple of different destinations. We'll discuss that next here on the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Business people like it straight and to the point. So here it is. Bruce Jacobs here to tell you take control of your utility expenses by calling Harmon Solar right now. They can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Level your energy costs, protect yourself from inflation. How's that for straight and to the point? Here's more. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canyer with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Arizona Rattlers football. Exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. And at 1580thefanatic.com. Oh, yeah, I like that. Tune in to hear every home game live. Let's go, boys! Don't miss a second of all the high-paced action as the Rattlers chase another world championship. Hey, if we're going to win, it's going to be on us. Rattlers football on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Or streaming live at 1580thefanatic.com.
Triple 8-368-1580. That is the text line for the Fourth Dimension. We've been talking about a bunch of stuff here lately. Good Cat is on the text line. It says, to be honest, as an ASU fan, seeing these issues at ASU bothers me because it's giving all Arizona sports a bad name. Yeah.
Especially when it comes to just even if we just focus on college, the football program, and this is true of most schools, it's either the football program or the basketball program, tends to make the other sports look bad. You know, like ASU softball, they were doing really great, but we end up getting hung up on football, and now the decision making is starting to affect the other sports too. It's affecting softball because now you're losing a really good coach.
Mr. Wilbur says, talk about mid-level college football programs. We need to talk more about pressing issues. Rodney Hudson was not in Cardinals camp today, and it was an unexcused absence. Keon, can you look that up while I continue on the text line here? Commando Duke says, is there any former analyst turned coach or GM who's actually been successful? I think Gruden, Mayhawk, Herm, etc. Yeah, I don't know of anybody that was an analyst turned pro coach or GM that's been very successful. I could be wrong here.
But I do think that I'm not going to hold the analyst thing against Herm because Herm's coached football before.
Yeah, he was a football coach and player before, played at a high level.
Yeah, I think guys who have been successful in the NFL, though, not necessarily successful in college. Take a look at Lovie Smith and what happened to him at Minnesota. You know, really successful pretty successful tenure with the Bears. Then he goes to Minnesota. What happened?
Yeah.
Just kind of fell off of the face of the earth and had a very terrible run with that program up there.
But he grew a gnarly beard, though. Hefty Lefty says it's almost as if the human arm wasn't meant to throw 104 miles an hour for a long time. Huh?
Well, the thing is, he came into the league injured. But that's the disappointing thing with Strasburg in that regard is it's not like he was doing it for a high level and then his arm just gave out. He would be hurt some years. He'd do it at a high level some years, and then he'd go back to being hurt again. And it was just on and off his whole career. Yeah, the human arm wasn't designed to do that, but we've seen guys be good before. Like Madison Bumgarner is a really good example. He's clearly not the Madison Bumgarner of a few years ago. But there was at least a window where Madison Bumgarner was like a top 5 dominant pitcher in baseball. Strasburg only had maybe 1 or 2 seasons that looked like that, if that.
Good Cat Big George says some bad news for the San Diego Padres. Fernando Tatis Jr. CT scan yesterday did not reveal the level of healing the Padres had hoped. He was expected to return by the end of June. That's being pushed back for now. Oh, as a Diamondbacks fan, Good Cat wanted me to make sure that everybody knows he's a U of A fan, not an ASU fan. I think he may have said that. I just didn't see it right. Good Cat, U of A fan. Watermelon. Gruden won a Super Bowl. Besides being not a classy guy, that's pretty successful for being a coach and analyst.
Yeah, he was a coach before he was an analyst. So that's I don't. That's the reason why I don't want to say the analyst coach thing can't work out. Mike Mayock is in a different category because Mike Mayock never spent a day in an NFL front office.
Yeah,
and then one day found himself in an NFL front office.
Yeah.
And it didn't go well.
All right, 888-368-1580. So Baker Mayfield, as we know, everybody knows he's not happy. Poor Baker, he gave everything he had. He went to the Browns, and he's been playing there for some time now. Just got a big upgrade to his contract. He's going to be making some big money this year. Well, the Browns had other choices, so they broke up with Baker. But the problem is he's still on the Browns. I mean, officially. And a lot of people have been trying to figure out where he's going to end up. According to this article, there's a report out. Greg Papke of Larry Brown Sports. Greg Papke. Or maybe it's Gray. Yeah, it's Gray Papke. Keon, who the hell names their child Gray? Grey?
I have no idea.
Gray Papke. Baker Mayfield's list of potential destinations has not expanded since the Cleveland Browns traded for Deshaun Watson. That's led some unusual suggestions for where the number one pick could end up. In a new report, there's another intriguing name to the list. ESPN's Dan Graziano, who has been talking with some of the executives around the league, has come up with one team mentioning that the Minnesota Vikings potentially could be a landing spot for Baker, the touchdown maker. The Vikings. In a related story from CBS News today, or CBS Sports today, the Panthers are eager to finalize the trade talks for Browns Baker Mayfield as minicamp begins. The hell's going on here?
Well, I'm not going to lie. I don't really understand Minnesota's interest in Baker Mayfield, except that maybe he just costs less than their current quarterback. You got a new head coach in there, new decision makers that they may not be as in love with Kirk Cousins as other coaches or the previous administration was. So maybe that's the reason why Minnesota might have an interest. But Carolina's just desperate.
That's what they're saying here. They're saying that with Minnesota potentially not being happy with Kirk Cousins and moving on with him after the 2022 season, Mayfield could be given a similar opportunity as Jameis Winston was back in 2020 when he sat behind Drew Brees and overtook the starting position with the New Orleans Saints. This article is speculating that Baker could end up as a backup to how do you like me now? What's his name?
Oh, Kirk Cousins.
Kirk Cousins. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that he gives you, what does he give you? He gives you competition at that position. And maybe Kirk elevates his level, but possibly, Baker can take the job. If Kirk ever gets hurt, you got a guy who's had, multiple years as a starter in the NFL who has high levels of potential. I don't hate the idea. And the thing with Kirk Cousins, because I don't dislike Kirk, even though people think I do. I don't dislike Kirk Cousins. I just don't think that he is that great a quarterback for the money that they are paying him. Like that's the key there. The contract that you're giving him, I just don't think that he plays up to that. And he takes a lot of money that could go to other position groups and really help the team get better. And if you have a quarterback that doesn't elevate the team, he doesn't make the team better by his being there, then you can't take away from other position groups to pay him. Baker gives you a cheaper option potentially in the future. You have Baker on the roster, then it's just easier for you to move forward with him whenever Kirk's contract is up, which it will be done in 2023.
The Panthers, if it were up to them, according to this article by Cody Benjamin of CBS Sports, if it were up to the Panthers, Baker would already be there. They have tried to get this deal done. There's an urgency to finalize a deal with the Browns by the Carolina Panthers. The main issue remains Baker's salary and how much or how little the teams will pay. The urgency on Carolina's side to execute the deal soon so Mayfield can get some time in minicamp with the Panthers. For the Browns, it's the best offer they have. Talks are ongoing. That, according to CBS Sports NFL insider Jonathan Jones.
I mean, it makes sense. Their problem is that they've got Sam Darnold on the books. You know that
they're not going to use Darnold.
I know that they're not going to use him, or they're going to try and get out of having him even on the roster. But the fact of the matter is, whether or not they use him, they still owe him the money for picking up his 5th-year option.
Yeah.
So you picked up the option, and now you don't really like having him. You're trying to figure out a way to get rid of him, or at least not use him. Even if you bring in Baker Mayfield, now you've got 2 guys playing quarterback that are making around $18 million a year. They want Baker's contract to be bought out, so they just don't have to pay the brunt of that money while they've got the Darnold contract on the books.
Mayfield's $18.85 million salary is due him in 2022. And according to David Tepper, he may be desperate to get this deal done, but he can't pay that salary of 18.8 and Sam Darnold's 18.8, which is about the same as Baker's.
Yeah.
So
it's just, you can't have 2 guys, like you can't have the backup quarterback making the same amount of money as the starter.
And I thought the Cardinals, we're a horrible team for picking up what was his name from Oklahoma, and he had the bad name.
No, Sam Darnold or Sam Bradford.
Bradford, yeah. I thought that was probably the worst pickup the Cardinals had in the history of mankind. Sam Darnold. I'm not an NFL executive, and I would have never made that call.
Sam Bradford was being held together by silly putty and some string. It's unbelievable that they gave him any money at all.
Yeah.
It really is.
One thing that could help facilitate Mayfield's trade, agreeing to a pay cut and moving former Panthers starter Teddy Bridgewater, deployed to land with the Broncos prior to the 2021 season. At this point, however, there's been no indication that Mayfield is prepared to cut his salary. May have to.
He may, if he wants to go, if that's a team that's on his list, which reportedly it is. Yeah, you might have to take the pay cut to go there because they just can't afford you.
So if you're Baker Mayfield and you're still under contract with the Browns and you're watching the news like everybody else, you know what I mean, Keon? You're seeing what's happening with this Messiah quarterback they brought in, who's got now, it looks like there's going to be 2 more counts against him in civil court.
Mm-hmm.
And you know he's not going to play this year. And you feel like maybe if you stick around long enough with the Browns, you got him by the short and curlies. You see what I'm saying? You think Baker might be sitting there counting his money before he actually has it?
I don't know what Baker's doing there. I mean, it's possible that he is, because he knows he has to
speculate for a second. Let's just speculate.
Probably. I mean, look, he's owed $18 million, and Baker's not going to take less money on his own. So either the Browns are going to have to eat some of that cost to trade him somewhere, specifically to Carolina, who can't afford it, or the Panthers are just going to have to absorb that, or whatever team he goes to, or they release him and he gets the money anyway. And at which point then he can still go on and negotiate a new contract.
I think he holds out for a release. What do you say?
That's the best option for him.
If I'm Baker, I'm not playing for him again after they did me dirty, but I'm going to make him pay every penny I can.
And I think that's what he's going to do. I think he's really going to try. And Baker, I mean, look, Baker's a highly competitive person. Baker's kind of a vindictive guy. The fact that the Browns would have to suffer a little bit to pay him, the fact that if they released him, he would still be a cap hit against them this year, and that would restrict them while he still made his money. He would enjoy all of those things personally. He would personally be happy about it all.
And I think he would be a great fit in North Carolina. with the Panthers. I think he would be a great fit there.
He would be. They've got a ton of weapons.
With the dental smock, are you kidding me? Baker would go in there. He would instantly win over the hearts and minds of the Panther faithful. Doc Mike is on the text line at 888-368-1580. He's got the solution here. Keon, see, this is why we have the fourth dimension right here. They are a wonderful cacophony of different types of jobs and peoples. Doc Mike is on there explaining the thoracic outlet is between the collarbone and the first rib lots of nerves and vessels that pass through there can get compression akin to carpal tunnel at the wrist.
Thank you, Doc Mike. But also, that sounds terrible. That sounds worse than what I thought it was.
No kidding, Doc Mike. Wow. I've had a lot of issues in my life, but I don't think that sounds excruciating.
It's like a carpal tunnel, but for your collarbone?
Well, it starts at the collarbone. Oh. It looks like it just runs down your whole arm to your wrist. Oh.
Yeah,
the first rib lots of nerves and vessels that pass through there can get compressed akin to carpal tunnel at the wrist. So like his whole arm was probably just, was just absolutely in pain. And then you get the carpal tunnel at the wrist from all that snapping action.
Steven Strasburg has made a lot of money playing for the Nationals. He's a legend. I have no bad things to say about Steven Strasburg, and I never will. But man, you've got a beautiful wife and a cute little kid. I would retire.
Go away. Just get a nice home somewhere in Virginia.
Because every single year he comes back with an injury that seems worse than the last injury that he left with.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know. It would be nice to be able to raise your arm over your head as your kid grows up. I just feel like that's a thing that's useful. I just feel really bad every time he runs back out there. Someone's got to be in that building going, Steven, when does it stop?
Donnie of the talk about Minnesota picking up Baker, the touchdown maker, says, no, thank you, in all caps. So I guess it should read something like, no, thank you. Fighting Wampus says maybe the Vikings want to sign Mayfield's. They have somebody to look up the stadium once the game is over. Okay. Oh, lock up the stadium once once the game is over. Okay. I just destroyed that text. Let me try it again. Fighting Wampus says maybe the Vikings want to sign Mayfield so they have somebody to lock up the stadium once the game is over. It made much more, sense that way.
Yeah. Agreed.
Randy, Big George says, I'm coming back to Phoenix this weekend. I see that there's a chance of the monsoon storms on Saturday. Is this true? Could I get an early dose of the monsoon this weekend? Maybe we'll do a look at the weather after the break. Fed Fan says, Doc Mike's showing off again. Well, come on. I mean, Fed Fan, if we had a shipping issue, like if I have a box that's oversized, what's the most efficient way? See what I mean? Fed Fan, you would answer that question. But we're talking about thoracic problems here. A doctor's going to have to answer that question. See what I'm saying, Fed Fan? But any shipping ideas, anything like that?
Or any tennis stuff, too.
Tennis stuff. See, Fed Fan, we come to you. I don't think he's showing off at all. Jack Dog says, Randy Baker, after 5 losses in a row.
And they're desperate to get Baker over there because I promise. The
bobblehead.
If they run the bobblehead out there and they don't win games, David Tepper is a very impatient man as their owner. He is going to fire everybody. He's doing it.
All right, 888-368-1580. When we come back, but can he catch? We'll find out about Eagles wide receiver Devin Allen and why I'm saying that. That's next on the Daily Blender here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
Hi, this is Nick LaCapria with the Daily Sports Quiz. What future NBA coach started for the Chicago Bulls in their first 10 season openers? The answers coming up on the Daily Sports Quiz.
Nick LaCapria's Daily Sports Quiz brings you a different question from the world of sports each day. If you want even more questions from the world of sports, visit Nick LaCapria's new website, sportstrivia.org. You can test your sports trivia knowledge and get answers to some great questions from the world of sports trivia. Sportstrivia.org. It's free, it's fun, and it's challenging. If you like the Daily Sports Quiz, you'll love sportstrivia.org.
The answer to today's Daily Sports Quiz name the future NBA coach that played for the Chicago Bulls in their first 10 season openers, the legendary Jerry Sloan. He played for Dick Motta. Jerry Sloan, today's answer on the Daily Sports Quiz.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs. Seems like everything is going electric these days. Electric cars, electric trucks. But what you save on gas, you pay for with that electric bill. With all these things being plugged into your house, wouldn't it be nice to save up to 85% on your monthly electric bill? Well, you can do that with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Call Harmon Solar. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
If you're age 62 or older and own a home, this message is for you. Reverse Rob here, Money Radio's expert on reverse mortgages. Learn how to tap the equity in your home and increase the quality of your life by earning tax-free income while protecting your other retirement assets. Join us for our free Second Saturdays webinar every month to learn more. This is not too good to be true. All you need to do is reverse your thinking. Call me today, Reverse Rob, to learn more at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
Before becoming a professional announcer, I took the announcer oath, which forbids me from misleading listeners.
Just wrap your heads around the reality of that.
That means I speak the truth when I say you can listen to us on your smart speaker. Just say, listen to 1580 The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender on this Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. It's Randy and Keon. Jeffrey is over in Palm Springs at another one of the mega structures for CRC Broadcasting, the mega broadcasting company for the United States of America, working on one of our stations. They needed his attention there, so he'll be there probably about a week or so. He'll be returning here to Phoenix. But I want to send out a congratulations to Captain Philip Booth, recipient of the Bronze Order of the Mercury, which the Bronze Order of Mercury. He's a Army chaplain, by the way. The Bronze Order of Mercury recognizes people who have demonstrated the highest standards of integrity and moral character, things like that. So congratulations out there to Captain Booth. I appreciate your service. And thank you, Kim, for letting me know that. I got a picture here of Captain Booth receiving this award. What a cool honor. Captain Booth, there he is shaking hands with the CEO, and he's got the Bronze Order of the Mercury thing on there. That's cool. I like that. So anyway, I wanted to take a second here and honor Captain Booth. I know we have a lot of veterans that listen to the show, a lot of hopefully active military people. We love the military here. 1580 The Fanatic. Keon and I are pro-military. I've got a son over in the Middle East right now. He's coming home in sometime in July. He's been over there since January. It's his fourth deployment. Sergeant White over there.
Yeah, to see him again.
Yeah. It'll be good. It'll be good. 888-368-1580. Lots going on today in the world of sports like this. You know, DK Metcalf has his eyes set on becoming a sprinter at the Olympic Games, but fellow NFL wide receiver has already beaten him to the punch. It looks like Devin Allen, who signed with the Eagles to play a receiver this past April, clocked a 1:2.84 second finish in the 110-meter hurdle last Sunday at the USA Track and Field tournament or event or whatever you call it there in New York City Grand Prix. The third fastest time ever recorded in the event. I mean, the Eagles are probably going, Tyreek who?
They've got a guy with actual track speed.
12.81, third fastest time ever. Wow. I mean, that's moving. I saw the video. I don't have it. I don't know how to put stuff on my Twitter. I'm sorry. But congratulations to him. My question is, can this guy catch? Devin Allen. You know, we know he's fast, but he ain't got any real clothes on. He's got one of them, you know what I mean? You know, he's got one of them little skin-tight track outfits on.
Mm-hmm.
It shows every, everything.
Yeah. Too much.
Every rippling muscle he has, including the one that's important. Hello. Hello. What do you do? I'm a sprinter. Oh, my. See what I'm saying?
Ooh. We've all heard the reports about the Olympic Village, what goes on there when you put all those athletes in one room together.
Chinese were passing out condoms. Yeah. Hell, they know what's going on too. All right. So anyway, congratulations. I wonder, given just a flat race between him, Tyreek Hill, and DK Metcalf, who wins that race? Is it Devin Allen?
I think Devin Allen has to win that race. I mean,
you didn't see the video, did you? Have you seen the clip? It's not on the thing here. I saw it on the Twitterverse originally. That's why I had to look it up. I don't know how to put the damn thing on my, you and Jeffrey are, Renaissance men when it comes to the Twitter junk. I don't know how to do that.
Okay. I think I found it.
You got to watch this because he starts a little slow, but he hits like another gear, man. Anyway, congratulations to him. Allen's record time lowered his personal best from 12.99, according to NBC Sports, and made him the first man to break 13 seconds in the 110 hurdles this year. Only two others, Aries Merritt at 12.80 and Grant Holloway at 12.81 have logged faster times. Devin Allen's was 12.84.
Oh, good.
And this guy is from Phoenix. He's a Phoenix native. Three-time U.S. national champion in the 110 hurdles. Wow, look at him. Congratulations, Devin. But can he catch?
That's the $1 million question. Because teams gamble on, other athletes from other sports before. And every time you get a guy, for instance, that used to be a basketball guy in Antonio Gates, the question mark isn't, can he catch? That question mark is, can he block? Can he run routes? Here you have a guy who can run, but it's the opposite thing. And so you
look, if this dude can run the 110 hurdles, okay, I don't care if he can block. Just look, man, this is me in the huddle. I'm the quarterback, okay? I go in, look, you, Allen, just go long. Post pattern every damn down. Just post pattern just hurdle the guy. I'll throw you the ball, just run under it.
And he was a 4-star football recruit. Played some wide receiver at Oregon for 3 seasons where he had 41 catches for 687 yards.
Yeah, but how many drops?
Touchdowns.
How many drops did he have?
That's not in the article.
Mm-hmm. That's my question. Can he catch?
It seems like the reason why he stopped playing football was the 2 ACL tears that he had.
No, damn.
That's what scared him away from football.
But and yet he's going to go back and play for the Eagles. I
mean, you can make some more money than you can in track if you're an elite person like Usain Bolt that gets all the endorsements. But if you're not Usain Bolt, football makes more money.
Did you see the video? Did you see that second gear he's got? That extra gear somewhere. He just kind of kicked it in all of a sudden.
And very casually too. It didn't look like he had to exert any effort to get to that second gear either.
People that damn fast, they just 888-368-1580. Doc Mike says that's not a muscle. I beg to differ.
You ever heard of the love muscle?
I beg to differ.
Ooh, that's a muscle.
That's what I'm talking about. Maybe I need to get some of those track clothes. You know what I mean, Keon? I just scared myself. The Raven Kid says Devin Allen reminding me a lot of Andy Isabella out of the Cardinals, who was also a track star in college, but couldn't make it translate onto the field. Yeah, because he couldn't catch.
That being the biggest problem. Yeah.
Chief Skull, Baker Mayfield to the Vikings, only if he was the reincarnation of Fran Tarkington, and you, sir, Baker, are no Fran Tarkington. No, he's not. I had a Fran Tarkington jersey when I was a kid. Yeah.
Fran's cool. Fran's like the original Russell Wilson.
Oh, yeah. Too bad he couldn't win a damn Super Bowl. I liked Fran Tarkington. Baker's Cocky Hens says it'll be nice to see Hollywood Brown get a pass thrown within 10 yards of him this season. May actually be worth drafting this season in fantasy. Are we talking about fantasy football already? Come on, Baker's Cocky Hen.
What was it? Hasn't Hollywood Brown been a 1,000-yard receiver before?
I think so. Yeah.
Look,
yeah.
Lamar is not the most accurate quarterback at football, but like, if you, I don't know, people talk about Lamar like he couldn't hit the broadside of a barn, which it's just not true. It's just not true.
Okay, so we earlier on in the show in the 3:00 hour, we talked a little bit about the Brittany Griner situation. Let's keep in mind she was reportedly detained after there was some hashish, or was it just hash oil for her vape? I'm unclear on that.
It's hashish.
Was it hash oil? Okay.
Yeah, it was the oil for it.
So she was busted with that, which is against the law there, and they have been detaining her since February. And now officials from the State Department met with the Phoenix Mercury on Monday about Brittany Griner. What are you going to do? Send the Mercury over to beat some ass, or what are you going to do? I mean, I know our Phoenix Mercury are mighty and everything, but why is the State Department talking with the Phoenix Mercury? Anyway, they met, the State Department met with Phoenix Mercury on Monday about Brittany Griner, who's still detained in Russia, and efforts that the United States government has made to secure her release. That, according to the Associated Press, it's unclear specifically or what specifically happened in the meeting or who attended. But the State Department confirmed the meeting to the Associated Press and said it was involving officials from its office that deals with hostages and wrongfully detained Americans.
Because they gathered some information and they suspect, though they don't know, that what the Russians say she's being detained for. We don't know that she actually did it. That's just what they said. So so they're trying to that was once they felt fairly confident that this could possibly be a wrongful detainment, they started moving to try and secure the release.
I don't want to get all political up in here. I don't want this show to go that way. If you've been a longtime listener of the Daily Blender, we just don't do that. Sometimes we might share our opinions, but we just don't want to get all crazy up in here about political things. But why would they want to hold on to Brittany Griner?
Just because
is this something that they're doing to have some leverage against the United States in some way because of this whole war that's going on, this stupid war that's over there?
The timing of the war, I think, made it really hard to figure out exactly what was going on. But she's a high-profile American, and I think that they just thought, oh, we can use that. Let's just have that in the back pocket. And reportedly, there is a Russian
arms trafficker.
Yeah, that they want back, and they would be willing to trade Brittany for the arms dealer.
So you've got Brittany Griner, who allegedly had hashish oil for her vape in her luggage, and they want to exchange the WNBA star Brittany Griner for the Merchant of Death, Victor Bout.
That is his nickname, yeah.
Huh. That's dirty pool, man. I say we send SEAL Team 6 in there, just get her out of there. And keep the Merchant of Death behind bars.
I would prefer that too. But I don't know. It's a tough decision to make. I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm qualified to make that decision. But if she was wrongfully detained, I do think that it warrants the effort to go out there and try and get her back.
Brittany has been able to answer certain emails from WNBA players and others through a special account set up by her agent. But other than that, she's been isolated. Mercury coach Vanessa Nygaard was skeptical of the meeting with the State Department on Sunday, but sounded content with how it went after the meeting ended. So, all right, we'll keep thinking about Brittany Griner, hoping for her safe release here very soon. Get her back, but we don't want to give up the Merchant of Death. 2 hours down, one to go here on the Daily Blender, here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Next hour, lots of fun stuff, including some baseball and football and other stuff.
Does your company need bonds? Hi, this is Dave McKee, president of Constructors Bonding, inviting you to learn how our team can deliver better bonding than any competitor anywhere. Our relationships with every major surety get you the credit you need fast, and we never stop working to exceed your expectations. Call me personally at 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 to learn how Constructors Bonding is your solution to better bonds.
Your home has gone way up in value, but have you taken advantage of it? This is Rob Canier with a phenomenal opportunity to tap into some of your home equity, earning tax-free income and eliminating your mortgage payment while staying in your home as long as you want. With home prices leveling off, don't wait to learn more about the new reverse mortgage. This is a safe and proven money-saving and tax-free income opportunity for homeowners age 62 and older. Call me, Reverse Rob, and learn more today at 602-REVERSE. That's 602-738-3773, or download my app by searching Retire Right with Reverse Rob.
There's no doubt that Harmon Solar can save you up to 85% on your monthly electric bill. That's a fact. Bruce Jacobs here. But did you know it's possible to get solar for $0 down and no payments for 12 months? You can lease, finance, or even purchase outright. They have plans that fit everybody. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, woman-owned local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar at 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189, or go to harmonsolar.com.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now. For prices so low, we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go and pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. 802-341-4535. That's 802-341-4535.
When kids need medical care, they will often face stressful and life-changing experiences. They miss out on the things that make being a kid fun. Starlight Children's Foundation has delivered happiness to 17 million seriously ill kids and their families at more than 800 children's hospitals and healthcare facilities. Our programs entertain and inspire hospitalized kids. Learn more at starlight.org. That's starlight.org.
KQFN Tempe. Also transmitting on K25CD Phoenix at 99.3 FM and K240U Mountain Hills at 95.9 FM.
It's time for the third hour.
All right, people, settle down.
Because it's time. Time for what?
Showtime.
When does it start?
Right now. 3, 2, 1.
Let's get on with the show.
Let's do it.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender. We are broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Mega Center. And alongside me, Randy White, the man, the legend himself. And I am I'm in the control room. I push buttons, I play music, and have a little fun.
Talk sports.
Talk some sports. And we've been, all over the map today. Got into a little bit of football, got into a little bit of baseball, talked some NBA finals. The show has been chugging along in large part thanks to you on the text line. 888-368-1580. We get you involved. And you're the engine here. You run the show. And Randy goes out there and he gets your texts. He gets them all together and gets you all involved here on the Daily Blender, where we have fun because of you.
Yeah, absolutely. Keon, good job there. Jeffrey O'Brien over at our sister stations in Palm Springs, and he will be back as soon as he can. He's untangling wires. I think somewhere the Dome, Jeff Bloom, he's the host of the afternoon show over there in Palm Springs. He got tangled up, I think, in the cables, in the wires. I don't know how it happened, but I understand he was doing some sort of hot yoga in the control room and ended up in the wires. So sort of like an emergency rescue mission, I think, is what happened. So we hope to have him back as soon as he can. Anyway, it's a Taco Tuesday here on the Daily Blender. And you're right. Keon speaks the truth when he says the text line, it's all about you. You control the program. Commando Duke talking about man of the day and football players winning track. Ryan Fitzpatrick barely hung up his football jersey, and dude is already making headlines worldwide. What's this? Yesterday, Fitzmagic saved a penalty to get Australia qualified for the World Cup. I attached a Fitz Wonder pick. I'm sorry, Commando Duke. That's not our Fitzmagic. Mm-mm. No, it's close though. It's a nice resemblance, but no. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna have to dock you on that one. No, that's that's not it. Sorry, I'm gonna have to dock you on that one. Let's see here. Raven Kid says Hollywood Brown was quite literally 1,000-yard receiver last year. Hollywood Brown's downfall was his drops, not Lamar's throws. I'm going to tell you, Keon, don't go up against the Raven Kid about one Lamar Jackson. He will flat come after you.
Well, I think me and the Raven Kid are on the same side here. Somebody texted in and said that Lamar couldn't throw it at, that Hollywood Brown is going to be a better receiver because Lamar is not going to be throwing to him. He'll have a quarterback who'll be able to throw it within 10 yards of him. And I was saying, I don't think that that's necessarily the case. I agree with the Raven Kid. Hollywood had some really bad drops. I think his hands are, for the most part, solid, but you just get into some moments in games.
Well, that's the problem. They're solid. So therefore, when the ball hits them, they're not soft. See what I mean? They're made out of concrete or granite or something.
It's possible.
Doink. You see what I'm saying?
I felt like in fourth quarters of games, Hollywood got a little tight. And those were some of the drops. He got hit in the hands and just did not bring it in on some occasions.
Fed Fan says Brittany's a Russian spy.
So they're detaining their own spy? How does that work?
Doesn't make sense to me. Big George says Russia wants to hold on to Brittany Griner because in Russia, she's actually the prettiest woman in the country.
Oh, come on, Big George.
I don't know about that, Big George. I think that's I think you're telling a fable because what was that tennis star years ago? Keon, what was her name? Anna Korkanivno or something like that.
Kornikova,
that's it, right there.
I don't know if she was Russian or not, but
she was. She's Russian, I think. Yeah, she's easy on the eyes. Prison Wallet says, Randy, other countries have laws. She broke the laws. She's in jail. And the fact that you would even just suggest sending SEAL Team 6 to save a person who hates America is laughable. I haven't heard anything like that, Prison Wallet.
And well, first off,
I'm sorry. First of all, if she said something like that, I would not have said that. But
where has she said that she doesn't like America? That is a weird thing to say. And also, again, the State Department believes that she was wrongfully detained. That they don't think that she is guilty of what she is accused of doing. So yeah, other nations have laws, but if in this particular instance she is being charged wrongfully for a crime she did not commit, then yeah, you should go get her back.
Prison Wallet also wants us to know, can I get a news update? 12 cop cars just went south on the I-17 from Bethany Home Road. What's going on? I don't know. I'll have to search that. But I've never heard Brittany Griner say she hates America. So
no one's going to say that.
And some of these things, Prison Wallet, will be kind of jokes. Baker's Cocky Hen says, Hollywood Brown is a deep threat. Lamar throws 22.6 of deep throws accurately. Guess who's number one since he entered the league in deep ball accuracy? It's a short list, guys. Kyler freaking Murray, baby. 70.4% for Murray.
Okay, I'm just telling you that Hollywood had some throws where the ball hit him directly in his hands and he didn't catch it. The accuracy of the quarterback here in this particular instance, not relevant.
Jake the Snake says, Miss Jeffrey, but you guys are killing it. Well, thank you very much, Jake the Snake. Good show. What the heck is up with Rodney Hudson? Keon, did we find out what was going on with Rodney Hudson?
Yeah, Rodney Hudson. We don't know exactly what's going on with Rodney Hudson. The Cardinals are being very hush-hush about the entire situation. Cliff Kingsbury only said to the media that the absence was not excused. He wouldn't go into any details as to why. Just that they were just going to have to shuffle around the offensive line, and some other guys are going to have to take time playing center.
Must be. I hope it's nothing serious. We can only hope that it works out for the best. Hefty Lefty says that wasn't Ryan Fitzpatrick. That was Jonas Valanciunas.
Well, they do have a very similar beard. They both have really awesome beards.
Commando Duke just has two emojis, laughing faces. Good cat. If Lamar is a bad passer, how did Mark Andrews become a household name and a top tight end? Well, I can tell you. Have you seen his tight end?
Ooh.
That's how. 888-368-1580. Big George Randy, can I get a Mega Sports Complex Radar 8000 2022 monsoon storm weather report for this weekend? Well, let me see here. It's going to take me a second. Hang on.
Hey,
everybody just talk amongst yourselves.
Laying it on a little thick. Monsoon. And maybe I'm wrong about this. I haven't experienced an actual monsoon season here.
Yeah.
I've only experienced some very high winds.
Yeah.
That scared the hell out of me my first month living here.
Oh, that's nothing.
Yeah. And then it kind of just didn't happen again.
All right. From the 1580, the Fanatic Weather Center, Chief Meteorologist Randino Waitino coming at you live right now. 103 degrees downtown Phoenix, 102 in the center of town, and 103 in the East Valley. We're looking for highs around 106, 111 Thursday, 109 Friday, 100 on Saturday with clouds moving in. What's that? Clouds moving in on Saturday. Maybe a potential opportunity for the monsoons. Perhaps we'll have to wait and see. Currently, 10% humidity. Winds out of the southeast at 13 miles an hour. Back to you from the 1580, the Fanatic Weather Center. I didn't see anything in there about, storms.
I think this is just wishful thinking on the part of Big George. I think that
be careful because Big George, he's got like hookups at the National Weather Service.
Okay, and maybe he knows things. All I'm saying is Big George tells us every day about how the weather in Carlsbad is, and now that he has to come down here and join us here in the furnace, join us in the Valley of the Sun, all of a sudden he wants there to be a weather situation that might drop the temperatures for him. That's all I'm saying.
So on Saturday, 25% chance of showers. It's only going to be 103 on Saturday, 105 on Sunday, and a 5% chance of thunder boomers on Sunday. So, yeah, you got to treat as far as weather goes. You got to watch out. Big George, he knows his stuff. Baker's Cocky Hen, Brown dropped 6 passes last year, targeted 146 times, caught 91. So that's 49 throws not caught or dropped, meaning bad throw.
I don't know. All I'm saying is I happen to have a brother who's a Ravens fan. I watch a lot of Ravens games. You can tell me what that means. I watched the games. These weren't bad throws.
Yeah.
They just weren't.
Watermelon has made it home safe, everybody. Just wanted to let us know. And if anybody asks, I was nowhere near the I-17 in Indian School today.
Huh.
That sounds oddly suspicious. Jagdog says Lamar Jackson is not happy with his team today. Kyler not happy with his team. Straight up, trade Lamar for Murray. Well, I mean, what's that going to solve?
And I haven't heard that Lamar's not happy with his team. The reason why the contract thing's not getting done is the Ravens are kind of walking on eggshells a little bit because Lamar doesn't have an agent. Lamar negotiates on his own behalf. And so the Ravens are ready to negotiate. This is what they've said. And when Lamar decides to come to the table, they'll offer whatever, but they haven't offered anything because Lamar hasn't come to them. That's what the situation is. I don't think that he's unhappy with the team. He hasn't said that he's unhappy with the team. So I don't think that that'll help.
See, I think Lamar Jackson's a Renaissance man. He does his own thing. You know what I mean? He doesn't have a high-priced agent taking 25% of his take. You know what I mean? He wants that money.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Lamar will probably work things out. I think it's part of the process is going along. This is part of his negotiation. Absence makes the heart grow fonder and all that sort of stuff. 888-368-1580. Big George says, this says 99 on Saturday with a 40% chance of rain in Gilbert, which is where I'll be this weekend. Fingers crossed, Keon. Well, you know what, Big George, your app sucks. Mine's right. All right. Let's go back to what we were talking about. Lots of stuff going on. I don't know if you've heard anything about this, Keon, but there's trouble in paradise. The Orioles CEO and his brother are at each other's necks. They're in some sort of argument. And somehow somebody released a statement saying the Orioles will be moving. They'll be leaving and going to another place, Nashville. They'll be moving to Nashville. And I think this was this guy's brother, the Orioles CEO, who had to come out with a statement saying the Orioles, despite allegations in a lawsuit to the contrary, are not leaving Baltimore anytime soon. That, according to John Angelos, who issued a strong statement early on Monday morning amid a legal battle with his brother over the future of the team. As long as Fort McHenry is standing watch over the Inner Harbor, the Orioles will remain in Boston, he said. Wow. Luis Angelos filed a lawsuit against the owner of the team, claiming that he was trying to seize control of the team and relocate it to Nashville.
What?
Yeah.
This has to be one of the craziest weeks of brothers and sisters owning teams. Because yesterday we had Dean and D Spanos.
Yeah. It's going on again.
And they're fighting. Now we've got a couple of brothers fighting over.
Yeah, John and Luis Angelos.
Oh boy. Fighting over the location of the Baltimore Orioles.
John, who's the CEO of the Orioles, currently lives in Tennessee with his wife, Margaret Ballantyne, who is a singer-songwriter out of Nashville, according to the Four Letter Network. Peter Angelo, 92, placed control of the team into a trust in 2017 after dealing with multiple health issues. Louise claims that John has tried to, quote, squeeze, end quote, him out of the team, and that he hadn't started being involved with the organization until after his father's health issues started. Louise also claims that John has manipulated their mother.
Someone should make this into a movie. This would be an incredible drama.
Here's a quote from Luis. Quote, John intends to maintain absolute control over the Orioles to manage, to sell, or, if he chooses, to move to Tennessee, where he has a home and where his wife's career is headquartered without having to answer to anyone. The complaint read.
Maryland's not even that far from Tennessee.
Oh, my God.
Oh, boy. I'm not going to lie, though. If this was a soap opera, just this entire real life scenario, I would watch it. I'd watch it.
You would, huh?
Because this is crazy. There's just too many things going on. And it doesn't seem real. It is missing a love interest.
As the Angelos fight. John says there's nothing uncertain about the future of the Baltimore Orioles. I want to assure our Oriole players and coaches, our dedicated front office senior leadership team and staff, and our beloved and devoted fans, trusted partners. I mean, he's hitting all of them. Trusted partners, elected civic and nonprofit leaders, and our entire community, that the Orioles will never leave. From 33rd Street to Camden Yards, the Birds of Baltimore, the iconic team of Brooks, Earl, Jim, Frank, Cal, and Eddie will forever remain in the only city that our family and our partnership group is called, or will ever call, home. The finest city and birthplace of our national anthem, of which we are enduringly proud and to which we are forever committed. Oh, my God.
Hey, he really laid it on thick. I mean,
all right, so there you go. Rest easy, everybody. Oriole fans, rest easy. The team will be staying in Baltimore. That's 2 days in a row, man. You got Dean and D. Now you got John and Luis. And Luis claiming that John's trying to squeeze him out of the operation.
And move the team to Nashville.
Where his wife's career is headquartered. Oh, jeez. Give me a break, man. What Luis does not know is you can do recording from anywhere on earth. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't have to be Nashville. And Nashville, Nashville's a great place to start, but they make music in other cities, right?
Nashville, most of the hit records that you all hear on the radio nowadays are performed by artists that live all over the world. Hey, you get a producer on the phone and a guy with a recording rig at his house, and it's so good nowadays. The guy just lays down a track, and here's my idea. And then he sends it to the producer. The producer gets the instruments lined up, and he sends these MP3 files out, and they play to it, and they send it back, and they put it on one big machine, and they put it all together. Oh, geez. Luis, relax, will you? Take a Valium. It's going to be okay. Man, calm down. Zion Williams is not happy. He didn't play a single second for the New Orleans Pelicans this season due to a broken foot. And while he was sidelined, some speculation began to swirl regarding his desire or lack thereof to remain in New Orleans long term. However, Williamson tried to squash such speculation while speaking to media members at a camp he was hosting recently in the New Orleans area. I do want to be here. That's no secret, Williams said of a New Orleans via ESPN. I feel like I've stood on on that when I spoke. It was a long year for me for rehab and mental battles. I'm fine now. I'm ready to get to work. Do you believe him? Does Zion want to be in New Orleans?
I believe him. Yeah. I think he wants to, build up something of a legacy. The guy has been, he's a number 1 overall pick, and he hasn't been able to live up to it because of health. And so I think he's aware of the perception of him around the league, that he's injury prone. That he can't get it done. And if he's not able to be healthy, people are going to say that he's a bust. I don't think that you want to run out of a city without ever really doing anything for that city. You want to do something. I mean, maybe you eventually leave. Maybe you set your sights on other places. But I believe him when he says that he wants to be there. And they're willing to give him the max contract too, regardless of what he has or hasn't managed to do.
Well, I think he's going to sign it too, according to this article. But also, New Orleans is a team on the upswing. I mean, they've got Brandon Ingram, they've got C.J. McCollum. They also have rookies Herb Jones, Trey Murphy III, and Jose Alvarado. We already know about those guys. They took the Suns to 6 games in the first round of the playoffs. So if I'm Zion Williamson, I want to tread softly. I want to be careful about anything leaking out that's negative, and I want to sign on. We can continue to talk about this. Take your texts at 888-368-5252. 1580. That's around the corner when we come back here. Also on this date in Big George's sports history. That's right around the corner as well in the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Brent Musburger's action update on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic. Heads up, sports bettors. Right now, you can try VSiN All Access free for 30 days with no credit card required. Visit vsin.com/free month to sign up now.
The Stanley Cup final beginning on Wednesday night. Games 1 and 2 will be in Denver, where the Colorado Avalanche will play host to the Tampa Bay Lightning. The Avalanche, they pay out at -162 as the favorites in game number 1 of the series. The Lightning, with a victory, would pay out at +134. The over-under has been set at 6 goals. Overall, the Avalanche are -180 favorites to hoist Lord Stanley's Cup, while the Tampa Bay Lightning would pay out at +155 if they win it all. For the latest odds all the time, visit vsin.com. I'm Matt Pauley on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 The Fanatic.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
Are you a planner? Do you like to plan ahead? Then, of course, you already have a plan to call Harmon Solar, right? Bruce Jacobs here. It should be at the top of your list to get solar now and enjoy huge savings next summer. Up to 85% on your monthly bill with 0 down and no payments for 12 months. Then you can plan what to do with all that extra money. Harmon Solar is a family-owned, women-owned, local company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar 800-281-3189 or go to harmonsolar.com.
1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic is your exclusive home for the 6-time world champion Indoor Football League's Arizona Rattlers.
All right, listen up.
Tune in to The Fanatic for all the fast-paced, hard-hitting action. Listen as the Rattlers work toward the playoffs and their 7th world championship in team history.
Let's keep it going.
Arizona Rattlers football, exclusively on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic and at 1580thefanatic.com.
Hefty Lefty's on the text line at 888-368-1580 and says, they gone. Talking about the Baltimore Orioles. Big George wants to know, are there any Oriole fans left in Baltimore? Your attendance is pretty dismal.
Oh, there are plenty, but it's a similar situation to our Diamondbacks over here. You know, they don't feel like the ownership group really puts forth the money and the effort to try and build a program. Yeah, they've got a hell of a farm system over there. Young talent comes in all the time, and then it leaves as fast as it gets there.
Yeah,
we can relate to what's going on over there. So they just, the fans are just they don't want to put money into a product that's not competitive.
Fed fan says Baltimore is a dying city. I'd take it to Nashville in a heartbeat. That's too bad.
It's just
I don't know that it's not a dying city, is it?
I don't know that it's a dying city, but yeah, I mean, there are parts of it that have gone under gone under a little bit. They don't have the ability to make money, in the harbor the way they once did. They don't have the ability to make money at some of the factories that used to be there. So yeah, in that degree, it is dying, but there's still a lot of people who live there, and there are a lot of people who love those teams. They love the Ravens and they love the Orioles, and they would hate to see either of those teams move, especially the Orioles, just because of the history that's there. I mean, just you think of Cal Ripken alone and what he means to that city. So I would hate to see the Orioles move.
The 4-letter network spared no expense sending SVP there. I mean, he's out of there. So
he's from there, I think, too.
Yeah, I know.
So
Raven Kid is saying Lamar. See, you got Raven Kid going on Lamar Jackson here, Keon. I just want you to know that. You got him going. Lamar doesn't want to worry about the extension yet. He's worried about winning championships. The pay will come, and he knows that. I wouldn't do Kyler for Lamar ever.
I mean, I would neither.
Kiss the Cook is hoping for rain this weekend, but not while I'm playing golf. Well, I mean, I could see that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, I've got some breaking news here.
You got what? You got breaking news?
Breaking news.
Hang on, let me get there. Break that news.
All right. This per The Athletic, as Amazon starts putting together their Thursday Night Football crew, Richard Sherman is going to be in the Thursday Night Football crew and part of that broadcast.
What?
He'll be joining the NFL Network Steve Weish in their pregame, halftime, and postgame lineup.
So he's not going to be doing the in-game stuff. He's just going to do pre and post and halftime and stuff.
Yeah, he'll be part of that NFL Total Access crew.
Wow, Richard Sherman. Okay, that should be fun.
Yeah, he keeps saying he hasn't, written off returning to the field, but he's Richard Sherman has a podcast now, part of the Pro Football Focus Network, and now he's working for Thursday Night Football. Richard, you're part of the media now. Just
come on, man.
Just roll with it.
I haven't given up playing on the field on the game I love. Give me a break, man.
Your knees don't work.
Your knees don't work. Your ACLs are all gone. They put rubber bands in basically at this point. Come on, just take it easy. Relax.
Your knees are done and you work for the NFL Network. I mean, just just admit it. Your career is over.
Yeah.
You're starting a new career.
Enjoy, man. Enjoy. All right, 888-368-1580 as we're in the second segment of our last hour here on this Taco Tuesday. Boy, I hope Miss Kim brings home some tacos.
I'm looking forward to some tacos.
I have been hungry. I've been hangry all day. I have eaten everything I can.
Well, I mean, I can't even blame you with that Mediterranean diet. I mean, I can't, like, every time I've ever started a diet, I feel like I just am hungry all the time.
Mm. You know how there's always a movie. I was watching a podcast earlier today about the Maverick, Top Gun movie. And the podcast I was watching, the guy, I forget his name. He's a former Navy SEAL guy. But he was interviewing he was like the Top Gun. This was the senior, Top Gun, teacher at Top Gun. This guy would know what Top Gun's all about. He was talking about this movie, Top Gun Maverick. And the guy had a lot of great things to say about it, He said there was a lot of fun stuff in the movie. And he said, you can't go in there looking at, with a critical eye. You got to go in there looking as a moviegoer. And he actually liked it. So I don't know what budget Top Gun Maverick had, but it was delayed several times. I'm sure it was an enormous budget. But there are a lot of movies. It got me to thinking of movies throughout the years that we all have enjoyed, and that didn't cost that much. And then there are movies that you spend hundreds of millions of dollars on that were just complete flops. So I thought it would be fun to kind of go down and I found this. I found this. So in 2002, which I can't believe I'm saying, The Adventures of Pluto Nash, and it's got a picture of a really crafted Eddie Murphy in this movie. The budget was $100 million, and it lost $145 million. You contrast that with in 1987, Dirty Dancing had a budget of $6 million, and it won Academy Awards for Best Original Song, among other things. In 2012, there was a movie called Battleship. In 2012, the budget was $220 million. It lost $177 million.
It should have. It was a terrible movie. It was awful.
In 2020, Nomadland, which I haven't heard of, maybe you've heard of, had a budget of $5 million. It won Academy Awards for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Actress in a Leading Role. In 2013, there was a movie called 47 Ronin. Budget $175 million, lost $112 million. And it was 2013. 47 Ronins.
It sounds like a samurai movie. It sounds like a movie I would like, but I have not actually seen that one.
In 1967, there was a movie called One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Jack Nicholson was in that. And the budget was $3 million. One of only 3 movies in history to win the Big 5 Academy Awards. Best Picture, Best Actor in a Leading Role, Best Actress in a Leading Role, Best Director, Best Adapted Screenplay. John Carter in 2012.
Yeah, I was one of the 5 people that watched John Carter.
$263.7 million. And it lost somewhere between 133 and $236 million.
I actually liked the movie. And maybe it was just because
you liked it.
I was 22.
John Carter.
But yeah, I enjoyed the movie, but nobody went to go see it. So that was the end of that.
1997, there was a movie called Good Will Hunting. The budget was $10 million. It won Academy Awards for Best Actor in a Supporting Role and Best Original Screenplay. $10 million.
Damn good movie. Robin Williams.
Battlefield Earth in 2000. Budget was 103, lost 115 million. Meanwhile, 1994, a budget of $8 million was spent on a little-known movie called Pulp Fiction. In 1967, The Graduate had a budget of $3 million. It won Academy Awards for Best Director, and it's number 17 on the AFI's top 100 movies of all time.
And Philip Seymour Hoffman. That was a really good movie, actually.
Okay, in a time of Star Wars and CGI and things like that, in 2001, A Space Odyssey came out. In 1968, 2001, A Space Odyssey came out with a budget of $12 million. And it crushed it.
Which is insane, because actually that movie has a lot of effects. You would actually think that the budget would have been bigger than 12.
Academy Awards for Best Visual Effects and number 15 on AFI's top 100 movies of all time. Rocky, 1976. Believe this, the original Rocky, the budget was only $960,000.
That's unbelievable.
I mean, I remember watching the original Rocky. That was crazy. And it Academy Awards for Best Picture, Best Director, Best Film Editing. It's not always what it costs to make a movie. I mean, you got to have a good screenplay, got to have good actors, you got to have that right combination. So I thought that was fun to look at. Maybe the Fourth Dimension has got their list of favorite movies. Hefty Lefty says Jocko's podcast. That was it. Hefty Lefty. You're right. Jocko, former Navy SEAL. Or is he still a Navy SEAL? Raven Kid, Pluto Nash in 3D. Oh boy, I've got to see that. I heard great things, but I lost money.
It lost more money than the budget, which is, even for this list of movies that had big budgets and lost money, almost all of them still made a little bit. Pluto Nash lost like $45 million total. It was negative $45 million.
Big George says, is Richard Sherman going to work for Amazon's coverage of Thursday Night Football just to be there so he doesn't get fined? And then he says, oh, wait, I'm wrong. Correction. Is Richard Sherman going to be working with that sorry-ass receiver Michael Crabtree as part of Amazon's coverage of Thursday Night Football? Who's going to be talking about him?
Why hasn't someone thought to put Michael Crabtree and Richard Sherman on the same show? Do you know how much money I would pay to watch Richard Sherman and Michael Crabtree?
Cardinal Art says, I would have thought the A's would have left town before the O's. Where's BJ Surhoff when you need him? And he also says, Return of Space Jam has got to be on the list. It was horrible.
Did it lose money though? Because we all know it was bad. It was a very bad movie. I like to pretend it didn't happen.
Fed Fan says Blair Witch Project was made for pennies and made a lot of money. It was made for actual pennies? Kiss the cook. Ishtar only made $14.5 million. If you want to watch Ishtar now, they'll pay you to watch it. Laughing emojis.
Oh, yeah.
Doc Mike says Blair Witch Project. Well, he actually in all caps. So Blair Witch Project.
Blair Witch Project was made for $60,000. It made $83 million.
Doc Mike also says cost versus profit. Check out Paranormal Activity or Deep Throat. I don't think I'll be watching either one of those. Doc Mike. Wow. Wow.
Paranormal Activity is another one that didn't cost anything.
So there you go. Some I just thought it was interesting. I thought the Fourth Dimension would have fun with that. All right. So the Stanley Cup Finals happening Wednesday night. We'll talk about it more tomorrow. The Colorado Avalanche will be facing off against the two-time and defending champion Tampa Bay Lightning. I think it's going to be a virtual toss-up, to be honest with you. I've been calling the Avalanche the team to beat all season long, and the Lightning, the way they went through the playoffs, the way they beat the Rangers. And I'm not saying anything mean about Bruce Jacobs. I know he's a big Rangers fan. But he has just got to be absolutely mad about that.
They blew that series.
Some people are calling it a virtual toss-up. Lightning coach John Cooper acknowledged how important it is ultimately that his team gets a break before the Eastern Conference Final after sweeping the Florida Panthers. Something the Rangers didn't get with their 7-game record round series win against the Carolina Hurricanes. Didn't help the Lightning initially, but by the end of the series, it came up big. And the Lightning, as you know, ended up winning. So some of these writers for NHL.com, Tim Campbell, excuse me, staff writer, is taking the Avalanche in 6. Meanwhile, managing editor Brian Compton is taking the Lightning in 6. There's some other guys on here taking the Lightning in 7, the Avalanche in 7. I think this is going to be one of the great Stanley Cup Finals of all time. I think this series is going to be a lot of fun, and we'll give you more information tomorrow before Game 1. But just kind of going into this thing, I don't know who to pick, Keon. Both these teams are amazing.
They are. I'm gonna go kind of chalky, and I'm leaning towards the defending champs right now.
Are you really?
Yeah. I just the way that they played in the Eastern Conference Finals, I really have a lot of respect for that team. You're down 0-2.
Yeah.
In a series, and you lose the first 2 at home. So you got to go on the road to tie the series. They do that, and then just take the rest of that momentum and just run right over the Rangers. I got a lot of respect for what the Lightning do in that organization. I know how good the Avalanche are too, but I just like the Lightning a lot.
I think the Avalanche, if they've been off for quite some time, I expect them to be a bit rusty going into Game 1 tomorrow night. They've been sitting around. They put the whooping on their playoff series, and they've been kind of just doing practice and stuff. Meanwhile, the Lightning haven't had that much time off in between their defeat of the Rangers going in, and they're the 2-time defending champs, and they've got the heart of the champions. Should be a great series, man.
Yeah, and they've got that Steven Stamkos. Guy's awesome.
Oh yeah,
he's such a badass.
And we'll see if the Avalanche get healthy too. They lost Kadri, which is a big loss for them. He was one of their leaders, and that's another thing. I think in the NHL, if you put a hit on a guy and it's kind of a dirty hit, it's like a behind the puck type of hit, where it's you're trying to get away with something and put a heavy hit on some guy. I think if the guy goes down for the series, your guy that put the hit on him shouldn't just be fined. He should be suspended the rest of the series too.
Yeah, I think so. That's how else do you stop the hits that get put out on guys for that? Where you can't just have somebody injure another team's best player without there being some repercussion beyond, a game suspension or something like that.
Exactly. All right, we got to take a break. When we come back on this date in Big Georgia sports history, got a wheel of sports, not real big, but it's kind of funny. And we'll take your text as always about, 19 minutes left in the show. You still got time. 888-368-1580. It's the Daily Blender on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
If you're an IT professional looking for an opportunity with great benefits and the freedom to creatively solve problems in a career with great growth potential and a team environment, look no further than Affinity Technology. Serving the Valley since 1992, Affinity Technology is looking for a level 1 tech to develop and deliver excellent solutions and outstanding customer service. Visit atechaz.com/jobs and get started with your future today. That's atechaz.com/jobs.
This is Dale Hellestrade from my friends at Constructors Bonding. If you need bonds, you can put your trust in Arizona's industry leader for the best service, rates, terms, and capacity anywhere. Constructors Bonding is the #1 writer with 14 sureties and will improve your bond program. Call Dave McKee today to learn how Constructors Bonding will perform for you. 602-432-5929. That's 602-432-5929 or visit cbialliance.com.
When you run a business, you need to be in control. And while you can't control everything that happens in the world of business, you can definitely take control of your utility expenses with the help of Harmon Solar. Give them a call and see how your company can save up to 80% on that monthly electric bill with zero down and no payments for 12 months. Harmon Solar is a local family-owned company that uses top-of-the-line equipment. Call Harmon Solar, 800-281-3189. That's 800-281-3189. Or go to harmonsolar.com.
This is Brent Musburger. Don't miss Pro Football Blitz, Saturday afternoons, right here on Arizona's sports betting station, 1580 and 99.3, The Fanatic.
Welcome back to the Daily Blender. Broadcasting live from the Harmon Solar Mega Center. And jam-packed show. We've still got a little bit more ahead of us here. Dabbled in all kinds of stuff. Got into some Lamar Jackson arguing. What else did we get into? Talked a little Zion Williamson pretty recently. We got into the movies, the big budget movies that are that lost a bunch of money, and some of the stuff that was really cool that didn't have a very big budget. Some of those movies, by the way, classic films.
Yes.
Stuck around forever. So those are the places that we went. We've got on this date in Big Georgia sports history coming up, but I imagine we've got some of you on the text line right now, 888-368-1580.
Kiss to Cook says Richard Sherman and Michael Crabtree, mediocre. Cray. Thank you, Kiss the Cook. Boogie says, I have Tampa Bay winning in 6. It's going to be a good series. Is anyone going to be to get tickets to the Coyotes next season in the 5,000-seat mini arena at ASU? I think I'm going to get season tickets. It's going to be a one-of-a-kind experience. Yes, it certainly is, Boogie. Hefty Lefty says, put Draymond on skates. He'd fit in perfect with the Hanson brothers. Yes. The Hanson brothers, of course, made famous by Slapshot, the movie. All right. Well, it's time. I better get this done here before Big George gets a little antsy with me. It's time for On This Date in Big Georgia's sports history. Back in the year 1998, Michael Jordan took over the decisive Game 6 of the NBA Finals against the Utah Jazz in the final minute, leading the Bulls from Chicago from a 3-point deficit to an 87-86 victory at the Utah Delta Center in Salt Lake City. It was the Bulls' second three-peat and 6th championship of the decade. Back to you, Randy. Yeah, it was also Michael Jordan's was named NBA Finals Series for the 6th time in his illustrious career.
And 6 NBA Finals. We mentioned it earlier. No Game 7s for Michael Jordan. That's hugely important.
Okay, so let's do this. We've got a few minutes left. We've run run clean of stuff. You can text in at 888-368-1580. But let's do the wheel of sports. They're cracking down on reckless drivers in Detroit. Boogie will be interested in this. The police chief is cracking down on reckless driving. Tickets for hazardous moving violations are up 680% in Dearborn, Michigan in the last 5 months since Isa Sheehan, a 24-year veteran of the Dearborn Police Department, took over as chief. He's serious about getting tough on reckless driving, and his department was in the news with a related story as recent as June 1st for impounding a Mustang with a hideous paint job that was doing donuts in the middle of traffic.
Right in front of the police station, if I'm not mistaken.
This week, a brazen trio of reckless drivers caught the chief's attention for performing burnouts in the dumbest possible place, right in front of the police station, with security cameras dotting the perimeter. Stop for a moment and consider the potential brain malfunctions that resulted in this decision. These kids were hanging out of their cars in the police station parking lot in Dearborn doing donuts. Well, the chief walked out, got license plates, impounded cars, and the rest is history. Who does that?
Crazy people, I assume. I mean, like, listen, I understand having a little anti-establishment feeling to you when you're young and you just want to show everybody up and, oh, look, you've somehow gotten a really nice car. Maybe your parents got that for you, whatever. Man, the police station.
At the police station.
At the police station. What do you think the police are going to do? They're just going to sit there, you think?
You think there's no cameras around the police station parking lot? Wow.
They don't even have to chase you. If they have your license plate number, they'll just find you later.
I mean, that's about as brain dead as it gets, I think. Nostramarcus on the text line says the Broncos over the Buccaneers in the NHL Finals. When does football season start? The Broncos will not be playing. It'll be the Avalanche over the Lightning. All right, the hefty lefty says, if the Lightning win the cup, the Avs will still end with a positive goal differential. Could be. And Big George says, thank you, Randy, for reading on the stage speech, Big George's sports history. I could never get antsy with you. Remember, you were my guy. Well, you're my guy, Big George. Thank you for all that. Let's go ahead and spin the wheel of sports again here. Have another one here. You remember Joe Madden, right? Mm-hmm. Joe Madden. Remember who he was? Yeah, he was the skipper of the Angels not too long ago.
Yeah, last week.
Yeah. Well, Joe Madden, he was in the middle of this hideous long losing streak, and according to the big lead, the 68-year-old skipper, after losing the 12 games in a row, he went out and got himself a little motivational haircut. He got himself a mohawk. He's going to go in and spark his team and plan to reveal it to them before their next game. The only problem with this, before he could get into the clubhouse there, Joe, you got a minute? Hey, can you come on in here to the office? We need to talk to you. And there goes Joe with his freshly mown mohawk into the GM's office. Jeez. Got a mohawk to surprise the guys with, help break the losing streak. But the players never saw it. Damn. Now he's got to walk out and do the walk of shame out into the street with all of, like a box. He's got like a plant and a trophy and his coffee mug, and he's walking out of the building. Yeah, you're going to have to turn in your keys and your cards and stuff. Yeah. But I just got a fresh mohawk.
Yeah. You're now a 68-year-old man with the mohawk that is only interesting to the group of baseball players in that clubhouse. The day they told you you're no longer allowed in that clubhouse.
That's the kind of luck I would have. You know what I mean? I would get a mohawk and come in to surprise you and Jeffrey and Radio Ron. Hey, Randy, you got a moment? Come on in here. You know,
like your guys are on this massive losing streak. They're kind of tight. You're trying to loosen it up, break the tension a little bit. You know, make some people laugh. Go out there and play ball, guys.
Yeah.
You know, and if you're feeling a little tight, just look at me. I've got the mohawk going.
I got the mohawk. That's going to motivate you. This is the victory mohawk right here. I can hear it now. He's got the speech worked out in his head. Wow. Hey, Joe. Before you go to the clubhouse, you got a minute? Come on in. Come on in here. 888-368-1580. Hefty Lefty says Mrs. Madden was not pleased. I don't know. On the contrary. I mean, oh, Joe.
Ooh.
Yeah. Kind of the wilder side of Joe Madden. Probably went home and got busy with it. Know what I mean?
At least something good happened that day.
Well, we can only hope. All right, 888-368-1580. Let's spin the wheel of sports again here. Yeah. You know the legend of Happy Gilmore, do you not, Keon? Happy
do.
Gilmore, the golfer.
Mm-hmm.
So the legend is he is a former hockey player. When he goes on the PGA Tour, he wins a tournament, and he gets the girl in the end. Well, it has to be a misprint in this case. There's a young man, a guy by the name of Happy Gilmore, competing for the Indiana High School Boys Golf State title. And it's true. It's Happy Gilmore. It's right here on his golf bag. He goes to Bloomington South. He says, sometimes when I first introduce myself, they'll look at me funny. Said Happy Gilmore, who's a star golfer. But if my golf bag is there and has my name on it, that will kind of help a little bit. But it never fails. At some point, they will ask me, is that your real name? Or how did you get that name? Something along those lines. His given name is Landon. But Happy, a 16-year-old sophomore, started to go by Happy as a nickname when he was about 6 and started playing golf tournaments. A golfer with the last name Gilmore is too easy, right? So there you go. Happy Gilmore is vying for the state championship in Indiana. Happy Gilmore. Oh, and by the way, when asked if he can hit like Happy Gilmore, he says he can.
Oh, I might have if this kid turns out to have any star power. I might have a new favorite golfer.
The last third of our season, says Happy Gilmore, I've been playing very well, who tied for second in the regional with the even par 72. It's definitely about the best I've felt on a golf course, probably in my life. He also says his strengths, believe it or not, his strengths, and here's a picture of here's a picture of old Happy Gilmore. He says his strengths is hitting his driver. He says, I'm pretty long off the tee. Here lately, I've been struggling with my driver, but typically I'm very good off the tee, and my putting is usually pretty good. I've been working hard on getting my wedges up because my irons are decent, but my strong suits are definitely off the tee and on the green.
So he's really like Happy Gilmore.
He's really like Happy Gilmore. Ladies and gentlemen, Indiana's next star is not a Manning. It's Happy Gilmore from Bloomington. Let's go to the text line. Hefty Lefty. Just remember, everyone, a mustache mohawk will get you weird looks and probably fired from your job. He didn't have a mustache mohawk.
Just had a regular mohawk.
He had a mohawk. Kista Cook says, Mohawk Joe. Yeah. Fired. Nostra Marcus, is that kid taking lessons from Chubbs Peterson? Well, he is long off the tee. Wow. 888-368-1580.
Unbelievable.
Happy Gilmore. Oh, all right. So Golden State victorious last night. We look for them Thursday night, heading back to Boston. What are you anticipating this road trip to look like? Do you anticipate the Dubs to go in there and take care of business, or does Boston have some plans for that? Are they going to be playing like a team possessed and send it back for Game 7?
Oh, I think Boston's going to come out and play like their hair's on fire. But A, they don't play well at home, and B, I think the Warriors smell blood in the water.
Yeah.
I am worried about the Celtics.
Well, it's something we'll talk about more tomorrow between 3 and 6 on this very same radio station. Keon and myself. Remember Jeffrey O'Brien? He's in Palm Springs. He's hopefully coming home soon. But Keon and I will be back tomorrow, same bad time, same bad channel, 3 o'clock to 6, to entertain you and try to get you home in a safe and happy way. For Keon Rose and Jeffrey O'Brien, I'm Randy White bidding you farewell. We'll see you again tomorrow here on 1580 and 99.3 The Fanatic.
This is Dale Hellestrae from my friends at Constructors Bonding. If you need bonds, you can